We are under 10 games to go in the regular season. Every game's a big one, and tonight it is a South Division showdown between the Amarillo Wranglers and the Shreveport Mudbugs. Hi everybody, Guy Chiarenza here from George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in Shreveport, Louisiana. It is the season series finale between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs with just 9 games left in the regular season for both squads. As the Wranglers, currently in the midst of a 4-game losing streak, look to right the ship as they gun for a playoff spot down the stretch. They take on one of the hottest teams in the North American Hockey League in the Shreveport Mudbugs, who have won 13 of their last 15. Knowing this Wranglers squad, they're going to fight tooth and nail for 2 points here tonight, as Amarillo is currently in the 5th place spot in the South Division with 60 points on the season. The Wranglers on the year have a record of 26-17, 6-2. They are 2 points back of the New Mexico Ice Wolves for 4th place. The Ice Wolves do have 1 game in hand on the Wranglers. The Mudbugs have already punched their ticket to the Robertson Cup playoffs, as they have clinched with a record of 36-13, 0-2. They have 74 points on the season. Last time out, Friday night here at the Coliseum, it was the Mudbugs who came away with the victory, 5-1 over the Wranglers, although that is a score that, well, it may seem very lopsided on paper. It is not indicative in any way of how the Wranglers played last night. I actually thought that the Wranglers had one of their better starts to the game over the last month or so to begin that game, but bad break the other way, and all of a sudden 1 goal turns into 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then next thing you know, the Mudbugs had that one on a final score of 5-1. For Shreveport, they dominated the special teams battle, and I think that may come into effect into how tonight's game is played as well, as the Mudbugs went 2 for 2 on the penalty kill and 2 for 3 on the power play. Both teams are boasting some of the best special teams units in the league in terms of power play and penalty kill. So look for that to be a factor here tonight. Whoever wins the special teams battle has a pretty good chance of winning the game. For Shreveport, the big guns were out, and they were shining. Liam Fleet picked up a goal and an assist. Colin Vassilo also with a goal and assist. And Hayden Nickel, the Mudbugs captain, had 2 assists. In the Shreveport victory, and the reigning goaltender of the month for February, Eliot Seguin-Lescarbeau, stood on his head, gave the Wranglers a tough time, stopping 20 of 21 shots for his 23rd win of the season. For the Wranglers, it is their 2nd game since the coaching change. Austin Sutter, the former Mudbug, will be behind the bench for the Wranglers tonight. Bright spot in last night's game was Jack McDonald's goal to break Seguin-Lescarbeau's shutout late in the game. McDonald picked up his 10th goal of the season. He now joins the double-digit club in goals. Ben Ivey, in his return to the lineup, gets back on the score sheet with an assist on the McDonald goal. Connor McDonough, who made his 12th straight start last night, stopped 19 of 24 shots in the loss. And for McDonough, he'll be right back between the pipes here tonight for the Wranglers, making his 13th straight appearance. As the longest road trip of the season for the Wranglers continues on, 6 straight games on the road, starting a couple weeks ago in Oklahoma. The final game before the bye week was at Blazers Ice Center. Of course, the 2 this weekend here at the Pond, and then next weekend we'll wrap up the 6-game road trip with 3 more games on the road in Greeley, Colorado, before the Wranglers finish off the final 5 games of the regular season within the friendly confines of the Budweiser bullpen. The Wranglers, if they want to be a top team in the South Division and have home ice in the playoffs, they're going to have to find a way to string some wins on the road down the stretch. At this point in the season, it kind of feels like, with the Wranglers already dropping 2 games here on this 6-game road trip, I think the Wranglers have to go 3-1 or better on the rest of this road trip if they want to have a chance at getting home ice advantage in the playoffs, as it seems like the New Mexico Ice Wolves still have some games left against the Colorado Grit, as they are taking on the Grit here tonight. The Ice Wolves do have a game in hand against the Wranglers, and so for the Wranglers, every game counts. Every night is an opportunity for 2 points. They're going to have to find to make a roast of it on the road trip here. The Wranglers this season on the road have a record of 11-10, 3-2. They'll look to improve that figure with a win here tonight in enemy territory in one of the most hostile environments in the South Division, George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum. When we come back on the Wranglers pregame show, we'll get to the starting lineups here in Shreveport. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to Northwestern Louisiana, where we get set for the season series finale between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. As from George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum, I'm Guy Chiarenza bringing you these starting lineups for the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. We'll start with Shreveport's lineup. We're going to start with their top line to begin the game. Number 35, Jonah Jasser, native of Flower Mound, Texas, will start at left wing. Down the middle, it's going to be number 12, Hayden Nickel, the Mudbug captain. He's committed to play his college hockey at Air Force. Nickel picked up 2 assists in last night's game as the Mudbugs cruised to a 5-1 victory. Nickel has 43 points in 45 games this season. To his right, it's going to be number 17, Braden Cook. And Cook, standing at 5'9", 160 pounds, is a hometown hero. He's a native of Shreveport, Louisiana, and he'll round out the starting forward line for the Shreveport Mudbugs. On defense, starting at lefty, it'll be number 4, Will Murphy. Murphy this season has 31 points in 50 games. He'll be paired up with number 7, Liam Fleet, the native of Denver, Colorado. Had a goal and an assist in Shreveport's win last night. And yesterday it was Eliot Seguin-Lescarbeau in net for the Mudbugs. Tonight it'll be number 30, Nikola Goich, getting the start for Shreveport. This will be Goich's 14th appearance on the season. Last time he was put between the pipes, he stopped 27 of 29 shots faced in a 5-2 win over the Oklahoma Warriors on March 2nd. As for the Wranglers, Magnus Gadowski returns to the lineup after serving the final game of his 2-game suspension for fighting last night, and he gets the start. Gadowski recently announced his commitment to play Division III hockey at Amherst College. Congratulations to Magnus. Happy to see him back in the Wranglers lineup. Wearing number 14, he'll be starting in the left wing position for the Wranglers. His centerman tonight will be number 11, Luke Morris. Morris, standing at 6 foot 195 pounds, is a native of Fredonia, New York, and had a pretty good stretch back in February against his former team, the El Paso Rhinos. Morris had 2 power play goals over at El Paso County Event Center not too long ago. Wranglers could use some of that firepower here tonight. They'll look for Luke Morris to get things started here this evening. To his right, it's going to be number 21, Morley Phillips. The big man is known for his physical presence, but man, he can make plays happen on the forecheck. He's got a heck of a shot as well as a 6'4" forward, standing at 220 pounds as a native of Raleigh, North Carolina, and he'll round out that starting forward line with Gadowski and Morris. On defense, it's going to be the big, tall, lanky Latvian number 77, Martins Kruklidis, getting the start for the Wranglers here this evening, as Kruklidis stands at 6'6", 210 pounds. He will pair up with longtime Wrangler number 2, Kyle DeMarco, with the A on his sweater, standing at 6'3", 200 pounds. The Michigan man is the only Wrangler remaining from the Wranglers' inaugural roster. DeMarco picked up the secondary assist on the McDonald goal last night in the Wranglers' lone tally in the loss. And so it'll be Gadowski, Morris, and Phillips, your starting forward line. Kruklidis and DeMarco, your 2 D-men. And in goalie wears number 1 on his jersey. He's number 1 in our hearts. It's Connor McDonough for the 13th straight time. He shouldered a very heavy workload this season, especially down the stretch, but he's been fantastic. The Wranglers going to need a big performance from him here tonight. As in his 44th appearance, he has a record of 22, 14, 5, and 2, 2.44 goals against average, and 906 save percentage, and 1 shutout last season this season when he shut out the Mudbugs back at the Budweiser bullpen in November. With Gadowski's return to the lineup, the odd man out is Sebastian Mitro. Mitro played in a 4 position last night. He did quite well, taking 3 shots, making some stuff happen for the Wranglers. Gadowski's return to the lineup puts him as the odd man out. Coming up next, the national anthem. We'll return first period puck drop from Shreveport. Roll up that red carpet because we are all set and ready to go from Shreveport, Louisiana, where it's the Wranglers and the Mudbugs on a Saturday night in March. Playoffs are looming near in sight. 9 games left to go for both teams. Mudbugs have already punched their ticket to the playoffs. Wranglers looking to do the same. Mathematically, the Wranglers can't clinch this weekend. They couldn't have clinched yesterday either due to Odessa being inactive this weekend. Although it's pretty much a lock at this point. Wranglers looking to get some momentum down the stretch heading into the Robertson Cup playoffs. Last night, it was the Mudbugs taking home a 5-1 victory over these Wranglers. They did the same back on a Thursday afternoon at the Budweiser bullpen on the first weekend of November. And so the last time that happened, the following night, the Wranglers won the next game 2-1 in a shutout. And you know who was the man between the pipes that night? It was Connor McDonough. He's going to be the man in net here tonight for the Wranglers as he's your starting netminder. Presented by Street Toyota. McDonough this season is making his 44th appearance between the pipes, has a record of 22-14-5-2, a 2.44 goals against average, a 906 save percentage, and of course that one shutout that we just talked about. He's one of the top goalies in this league, and the Wranglers are going to rely on him down the stretch to pick up some big-time wins as the Wranglers look to gain some momentum heading into the playoffs. As for the Mudbugs, they're going to start number 30 in goal, Nikola Goich, the native of Homer Glen, Illinois, gets the start. Goich on the season will make his 14th appearance. He has a record of 8-3-0-1, a 2.25 goals against average, a 915 save percentage, and 2 shutouts on the season. So it should be a pretty good matchup here tonight. I'm looking forward to it, as it looks like they're just now getting that red carpet rolled up. Opening face-off will follow shortly. Happy to have you with us here on NATV or YouTube, wherever you're listening here this evening. I know we've got a watch party going on at the Amarillo Ice Ranch as well. Hello to all you folks there. Happy to have you here. And so pull up a chair, get some chips and dips, a beverage of your choice, and sit back and enjoy some Saturday night hockey with us. It's going to be Hayden Nickel against Luke Morris at the face-off circle to begin tonight's action. As the Wranglers will skate from right to left, Mudbugs from left to right, Wranglers wearing white, Bugs wearing red, as Morris wins the opening draw, and we are underway from northwestern Louisiana. The Wranglers will plug it into the Mudbug zone. Big hit by Morris right off the rip as he crunches Will Murphy into the inboards. Mudbugs will carry it out into the Wranglers zone. They go coast to coast right side. Nickel with a try, and an early save by McDonough as he sprawls out to cover up the puck. Settles things down just a little over 20 seconds into the first, and afterwards we already have a skirmish. Just 22 seconds into the game. And that's a season series finale for you. You never know what you're going to get. It's very hostile, very physical, because for both these teams, unless they meet in the playoffs, this is it. And so if you're going to say something, you're going to get something out of the way, you better do it here today. Speak now, forever hold your peace, or something of that nature. And so they break up that little skirmish there, and it'll be Hayden Nickel against Ben Ivy on the near circle of the Wranglers zone. Mudbugs win it. Wranglers come away with the puck. DeMarco loses an edge, but is able to push the puck into the Mudbugs zone. It'll be fielded by Murphy. On the forecheck, McDonald steals, looks to center for Jack Ivy, but a defensive stick by Fleet gets in the way. And then another shot by Ben Ivy is stopped by Goich. At center ice, the Mudbugs get possession. They will just float it into the Wranglers zone. That's Cook. He now goes off for a change. Wranglers send it all the way down to Goich. He'll keep it moving. Murch will play it down the right wing off the stick of Ryan Burke, the leading point scorer for the Mudbugs with 50 points on the season. As Shreveport looks to get to work offensively. Burke a backhand try towards the net. No looker pass. Goes right to McDonough. He covers, and now afterwards, Nolan Gagnon is sparring behind the end wall. It looks like he's going after Lucas Deeb, and now again, we have a convergence early on here in the first period, just a minute and 8 seconds into the game. And if that's not a tone setter, I don't know what is. Looks like we could be in for a long night here in Shreveport, and that's just fine with me. And so they break that up. It's going to be interesting here to see how this game is called. Looks like Lucas Deeb is being directed towards the penalty box. The door to the Wranglers box is open as well. Looks like Ben Ivy will be Amarillo's representative, and so it's going to be Deeb and Ben Ivy going to the box early. Ben Ivy trying to argue his case, but looks like he's going to need a better lawyer. And so tempers flare early on. Officiating crew led by, I believe that's Mr. Baker over there. He was our referee last night, trying to nip this thing in the bud, saying, no, we're not going to have any of that. It's going to be 4-on-4 here for the next 2 minutes. Just a minute and 8 seconds into the first period. As looks like Deeb got 2 minutes for slashing, Ben Ivy 2 minutes for roughing. So we're even at 4 early on in this one. Puck in the Wranglers zone, battle for it in the corner. Gagnon to open space. Haru with the shot. McDonough gets enough of it to make the save, and he quickly pounces on the rebound and gets a paw on it to stop time. Just 13 seconds into the 4-on-4 session. Mudbugs lead the shot count 4-1 at this point in the game. As fans are still settling in, finding their way to their seats. And one of the most historic venues, not just in the North American Hockey League, but in hockey in general. So we're live here from Hirsch Coliseum. Wranglers with the puck off the draw. They'll play it to safety as Gagnon has it in his own zone, but he's being pestered by Nick Marino, who scored a power play goal last night. Puck comes free from the fray. Topi Pukkanen will dish it towards his left for McNaughton. He'll dash it into the Mudbug zone. Behind the net it goes. It'll be picked up by Sushinsky and poked away by McNaughton. He looks to control in the corner, but the Mudbugs with another jab are able to free it and work it out to center. On the right wing, it's Haldenby driving towards the net. Takes a shot, and McDonough makes the save. And for a moment, it looked like he had trouble locating the puck. Didn't know if he had it or not, but Connor, you made a save, and a big one at that, as he has the puck in his grasp. But look at this, another Mudbug going to the penalty box. And it's going to be Logan Haru, 2 minutes for slashing. Wranglers are going to have a very rare 4-on-3 power play here for the next minute and 9 seconds. And so it looks like Mr. Baker and company not hesitant at all to blow the whistle and call a penalty. We've already had 3 in the opening 2 minutes of the game, as we're exactly a minute 59 into the contest. So here we go, 4-on-3 power play for the Wranglers. Not something that you practice very often, or very rare scenario. Wranglers will look to make the most of it, but they'll have to start in their own zone as the Mudbugs win the ensuing draw and fire it all the way down. Gagnon with speed through the neutral zone. Dishes it towards his right for Jack Ivy. He'll field it at the half wall, spin, look to get it back up top, and he does. Gagnon with it there, center point, drifting towards his left. To his right is Pukkanen. At the line, it's Troutwine. Across to Gagnon. At the left side, back to Troutwine, fires a shot, he shoots and scores! Nick Troutwine breaks the ice, and the Wranglers have an early 1-0 lead. It looks like Jack Ivey might have gotten a stick on that puck. He's going to head to the bench first, and Jack Ivey will have his 27th goal of the season. He's patting his thigh, saying, went off my leg into the goal. So initially I thought it was Troutwine. Looks like the goal is going to go to Jack Ivey, who quickly gets the Wranglers on the board 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the contest. And you knew the Wranglers would have a response here tonight after the 5-1 loss here yesterday. They now have a 1-0 lead early on. It's a power play tally from Jack Ivey. And he's been cooking in that kitchen this season as Jack Ivey leads the team in power play goals, as he now has 13 of those on the year. Coming into the matchup, that was 4th most in the North American Hockey League. As for Gagnon, he leads the team in power play assists. He gets the secondary assist, and of course Nick Troutwine, who fired the initial shot, gets the primary assist. And so now the Mudbugs carry it into the Wranglers zone. We're back to even strength. McDonald with a save there on Burke. Looks like he took a stick up high. Referees don't see it. Wranglers catch a break as Troutwine comes away from the pile behind the net. Wranglers move out to center ice. Goes off a stick into the Mudbug zone, while Murphy will quickly slap it forward back into the Wranglers zone. No icing. And it'll be picked up by TJ Ritchie, the Ohio native, behind McDonough. Wranglers float it to the Mudbug zone. 5 strength here from Hirsch Coliseum. TJ Ritchie has the puck at center ice. He'll gain the red line and blast it into the Mudbug zone. Around it goes, up to the line, held in by Semeniuk, and he flings it towards the goal. At least from my angle, it looked like he had it in the Mudbug zone, but they're going to call it offside. With 16:07 to go in the first period. And that was a close one, but the Eagle Eye linesman made that call, stop play. And Semeniuk was trying to race towards the puck to keep it in the zone. And now it's a neutral zone drawn from the Mudbugs bench. It's won by Shreveport. As Murray will toss it towards the Wranglers zone. It'll be picked up by TJ Ritchie once more. They'll backhand it upwards for Trace Day. Glances off his stick. And racing after it into the Mudbug zone is Jacob Miller. Bouncing puck at center ice. Will be flung back in by Martins Kruklidis. Players spar for it at the half wall. Mudbugs will possess. To the left wing, Semnera gets a stick on it, and he spurs a man in motion. Is on the right wing, it's Bryce Boucher. Defending him is Kruklidis. And a nice defensive draw by the Latvian to push him towards the corner and get possession back into the Wranglers' hands. As Miller has it on the near side, they'll shimmy it up to center. And the Mudbugs, in return, will hop it back into the Wranglers' zone where it's fielded by McDonough. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone as Trace Day tried to settle it down. Puck squeaks out towards the near side. Fleet will move it over to Murch as the Mudbugs look to break out. Haldenby off his stick and into the Wranglers zone. McDonough out to play it. Blasted off the near side wall. Back to Haldenby. Can't settle it down, and now Morley Phillips chugs through the neutral zone. Drifting towards his left. Tries to split a couple of Mudbugs. He's able to stash the puck below the goal line. Around it goes to the far side. Centering feed for Phillips. Goes off his skate. And to the Mudbugs as Hayden Nickel moves down the right wing. On his forehand, curls in the corner. Defending him is Troutwine, and a good play there by the Minnesota man. Again, nice play to cut him off in the corner and steal the puck away. He's back out at center. Contested puck goes to Jonah Jasser. They'll backhand it down to McDonough, and he will go towards the bench. 14-13 to go in the first period. Wranglers with the 1-0 lead off of Jack Ivey's 27th goal of this season. A power play tally. It's the Wranglers on the board first. As stretch pass connects with Phillips. He goes right down Broadway. Backhand try is stopped by Goich. Good try there for Morley Phillips. He looks to continue his scoring chance as he moves it along the far side wall. McNaughton kicks it over to Ritchie, and at the blue line, can't settle it down and keep it in. He'll just whip it back down on the re-entry. Logan Haru shovels it forward. Deeb will move it towards the near side. Austin loses a handle on it. Pukkanen is there. Tries to glance it back to the defense, but Deeb steps in with it. Below the right circle. He's battling with McRoberts. Nice defensive play there. As two Mudbugs and two Wranglers are hemmed in deep into the Wranglers zone. Puck darts free towards the right circle. Luckily for the Wranglers, it goes into the grasp of Elias Abrandt. His fellow countryman Pukkanen is able to dish it towards Abrandt below the goal line. Puck boomerangs back along the near side wall and back out to center ice. Pukkanen corrals it at his own blue line. Wranglers, a couple quick passes, get it to Kruklidis, and now Pukkanen will spring forward as he curls back from the pressure of Boucher. Wranglers taking their time on this next breakout as they gain center red. Semeniuk looks to move forward, gets caught up between Seminara, and now the Wranglers will repossess in their own zone. 12:35 to go in the first period. 1-0 Wranglers as McDonald will rim the puck around into the Mudbugs zone. Pops out on the far side. It'll be picked up by Murch, who is crunched into the boards by Jack Ivey. The Wrangler goal scorer takes a pick, is able to get a stick on the puck, but the Mudbugs, Boucher, will move it backwards to Murch, who feels the pressure of the forecheck from Jack McDonald. Now the Mudbugs are forced to just chug it into the Wranglers zone. Off a stick it goes. McDonough will play it towards the near side where Jack Ivey will handle it. Semeniuk off the wall in front of the Mudbug bench and out of play with 11:57 to go in the first period. Wranglers off on the right foot. They get the game's first goal. It's a power play tally from Jack Ivey, his 27th of the year. Nolan Gagnon and Nick Troutwine with the assists as the Wranglers lead 1-0 in enemy territory with 11:57 to go in the first period. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to Shreveport. Wranglers lead 1-0. Neutral zone draw is won by the Wranglers. Nick Troutwine, the primary assist on the Jack Ivey goal, will plug it into the Mudbug zone. Working down deep is Day. We'll look to exchange with Grayson Gerhard on the far side half wall. Mudbugs look to put an end to that by getting a body in front of it, although Gerhard, hard on the puck, looks to keep it in the Wranglers' hands. Miller helping out, shovels it towards the middle. It'll be picked off by Vassilo, who had a goal and an assist last night. Puck stays in the zone right side. Miller a shot, and it goes off of Will Murphy and out of play with 11:17 to go in the first period. Well, Nick Troutwine was acquired on December 1st from the Minnesota Wilderness. He's now tonight playing in his 27th game with the Wranglers. He now has 1 goal and 6 assists in a Wrangler uniform this season. He's a strong, steady defenseman who I've been very impressed with ever since he donned Wranglers red, white, and blue. He gets the primary assist here tonight. Had me fooled. I thought he had the goal here tonight, but it bounced off of the thigh of Jack Ivey behind Goich on the goal that has given the Wranglers a 1-0 lead here at George's Pond. I think Nick Troutwine is going to be a key piece for the Wranglers down the stretch heading into the Robertson Cup playoffs. Mudbugs will push it towards the neutral zone and deep behind McDonough. Morris will pick it up for the Wranglers. DeMarco upwards. Pass is picked off by Boucher. Shovels it towards the net. McDonough stop on the doorstep. As a Mudbug was lurking, and now it rebounds back to McDonough off a second attempt. He freezes, but now looks like Morley Phillips is dragged down. And now a couple players wrestle a Mudbug down to the ice. Phillips is on top, and looks like Gadowski is there as well. Wranglers were quick to bottle up that Mudbug. I have no idea who that is, but Mo Phillips enforcing the law over there has got his man tied up. Looks like Gadowski is being pulled towards the penalty box, so he will sit for some time. All this happening on the far circle of the Wranglers zone, and getting up now is Carter McKay. That was the Mudbug that got wrestled down by Gadowski and Phillips. And so, to the dismay of the crowd, McKay is going towards the box for the Mudbugs. In the meantime, Gadowski and Morris have both already taken a seat for the Wranglers, and now looks like Mo Phillips is going to go as well. And that is the case. So 3 Wranglers in the box, 2 Mudbugs, Morris, Phillips, and Gadowski. McKay for the Mudbugs. It looks like they're trying to sort out this mess. And 10:55 to go in the first period. And that's the thing about the Amarillo Wranglers, man, they're not going to let you get away with anything. If they take offense to something, they're going to let you know about it. Magnus Gadowski, Luke Morris, Morley Phillips setting the tone, enforcing the law, and looks like that whole third line for the Wranglers is going to have some time to cool off in the penalty box. For how long? Well, it still remains to be seen. And it's turning into a lengthy discussion over at the penalty boxes. And so now Morris, up on his feet, is going to leave the penalty box. He goes back to the Wranglers bench. And this is one of those venues where to get back to the locker room, you have to go through the penalty box. Past a couple of fans and into the locker room. So it's actually a good sign for the Wranglers that Morris goes back to the bench. So now just Gadowski and Phillips remain as Ben Ivey and Hayden Nickel, the 2 captains of the respective clubs, get a word from Baker. And now our referee for the evening goes back to the Mudbug penalty box to relay something over. So looks like it's now trickling in. Carter McKay, 2 minutes for roughing. Gadowski, 2 for roughing. And Phillips, 2 minutes for roughing. So looks like it's going to be a Mudbug power play with 10:55 to go in the first period. Gadowski and McKay's penalties will offset, and Mo Phillips will serve 2. So Mudbugs to the man advantage. It'll be their first power play opportunity of the night. Wranglers penalty kill, 82.4%, 13th best in the league. Mudbug power play, 21%, 8th best in the league, although over the course of their last 5 games, the Mudbugs have really started to heat up. They've had 8 power play goals in that span, 8 for 26 to be exact, operating about 30.7%, so watch out for this Mudbug power play. It's red hot right now. Wranglers will look to put an end to that here on this next sequence. Looks like Austin Sutter is getting word from Baker on what just transpired on that last sequence. Looks like we're good to go. And so for the Wranglers, your starting 4 on the penalty kill going to be the Ivy twins, Kyle DeMarco and Nick Troutwine. Drawn to the left of McDonough, won by Shreveport. Right point, Nickel flutters it towards the goal, bounces back to him. Will go across the line to Vassalo. He finds Cook on the left side. Use it down low for Halden B. They'll trade places. Back to Cook below the circle. Moves up to the half wall. Looks to center it for Marino. Nice defensive stick by Jack Ivey to break it up, but it goes into the hands of Vassalo. And now a steal by Jack Ivey, and he clears for the Wranglers. What a play there from Jack Ivey. Not quitting on that play. He's able to pick it free from the Mudbugs and kill off some time here on the Mudbug man advantage. 1:20 remaining on the Shreveport power play as they re-enter. On the left side, Deeb finds Marino. Reverse it around towards the near side for Litchard. Up top now it's Fleet to the left side. Mudbugs. Deeb taking his time, moves it down low. Back to Deeb. Center point, Fleet has it, fumbles the puck. Is forced to rethink things as he moves it from high to low. Mudbugs lose the puck off of an errant pass, and the Wranglers make them pay with another clear. Under a minute to go on the Mudbug power play. 50 seconds and counting to be exact. Fleet finds a man moving forward as Burke dishes it towards his left. Deeb will step in, go across. Fleet in open space, shooting! And it goes off a body and wide of the goal. McDonough might have gotten a piece of it as it's back to Deeb. He'll take a shot, and he rifles it wide. He's walking right down Broadway, just couldn't hit his mark. His left side, it's Murphy at the point, taking his time. Finds Deeb at the half wall, back up top to Murphy. Right side, it's Fleet. At the circle, plays it back to Fleet, a drive, and McDonough reads it like a book. He gobbles up that puck with 9:06 to go in the first, and just 12 seconds remain on the Mudbug power play. Good work on the penalty kill from the Wranglers, and a timely save from Connor McDonough keeps the Mudbugs off the board in the second half of the first period. Ben Ivey and Jack Ivey stay out there. Troutwine DeMarco remain on the ice. Mudbugs nickel will take the draw against Ben Ivey. To the left of McDonough on the near circle. One by Nickel. On the right side, it's Murch. He has it. Moves it below the circle. Off a stick. Bounces off the inboards towards the goal. The Wranglers nip that in the bud and move it back out the center. Shot from the neutral zone goes in on Goich. Looks to play the puck, but Ben Ivey peskily back towards the puck for the Wranglers as we're back to even strength. Cook darts down the right wing. Looks to get things started offensively for the Mudbugs. It's tied up behind the play. Fans want a penalty. They're not going to get one. Ben Ivey through center. Looks to move around Murch. McDonald streaking forward. Draws a penalty. Gets tripped up. And as he moves it across, the Mudbugs get a stick on it, and afterwards, Jack Ivey gets caught up in a chokehold by Hayden Nickel. He's being wrestled in the corner. Everybody comes to try and break that up and fight for their man. I wonder if we're going to see a penalty on Hayden Nickel. As afterwards, the Mudbugs unhappy that there wasn't a penalty against the Wranglers back in the Wrangler ends. Are unhappy that Murch gets the tripping penalty called against him, and so Nickel just sneaks up behind Jack Ivey, gets him in a chokehold, and moves him into the corner. And so it looks like Murch is going to the box. Jack Ivey is going to the box. And we're going to go 4-on-4 here. Unsportsmanlike conduct to Jack Ivey. And so, looks like the Mudbugs get exactly what they wanted. Not really too sure what Jack Ivey did in the corner. He must have done something, said something that the officials didn't like. And of course, at this point, it's all speculation, but from my vantage point, it looked like Jack Ivey was held up in a chokehold as Hayden Nickel was moving him towards the corner. And so, looks like we're 4 aside for the second time here tonight with 8:31 to go in the first period. Mudbugs get the puck off the draw. And Zushinsky will lose the puck from the pressure of Pukinen. He's out at center. Semeniuk will pick it up for the Wranglers. On the left wing, Kruklitis will wind it around towards the far side. Pukinen looks to pinch it in, but it goes by him and back out to center. Semeniuk with it. Scampers back into the comfort of his own zone and behind McDonough. Looks to see what shakes out in front of him here on the 4-on-4 situation for the next minute 30. Off the near side wall to Morris, who takes a hit from Fleet at the blue line. Moves down low. Pukkanen is there. Semeniuk as well. Mudbugs come away from the dance with the puck. As they'll shift it out to center. Marino will take a chop at it as it goes up into the air, back into the Wranglers zone. And now a little over a minute remains on the 4-on-4 as Semeniuk will hold it behind the Wrangler cage. McNaughton moves it forward off the skate of Abrant. Turnover here to Burke. Dangerous player goes across looking for Murray, and he just couldn't corral the pass that was behind him. Wranglers catch a break. Ryan Burke is the kind of guy that you don't want to turn the puck over to. And so the Mudbugs start again from their own zone. Vassilo charging up ahead, bounces it off the wall to himself. Curls at the half wall, looks to find a trailer. Wranglers converging on him, somehow keeps a handle on the puck. As from the line, drifts towards the left point, backhands it below the goal line. Wraparound try from Murray, shut down by McDonough on the second attempt. McDonough somehow makes a save on Vassilo. Wranglers get the puck to McNaughton, finds a man in motion in Abrant at center ice. 15 seconds on the 4-on-4 as Abrant will flip it into the Wranglers zone and head towards the bench. Still a 1-0 Wrangler lead on Jack Ivey's 27th goal of the season. Just 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the first. Nickel finds a trailer, shot by Murphy, is blocked by Gagnon. Into the far corner it goes. They'll spar for it. Nickel is there. Gagnon defending nicely, is able to free him from the puck. Ben Ivey will collect it and move it out to the red line. Mudbugs look to fire it in as Jasser on the re-entry. Mudbugs are offside as the 4-on-4 has expired. With 6:13 to go in the first. Good action on these last couple of sequences, but it remains a 1-0 Wrangler lead. With 6:13 to go in the first period. This draw is going to be in front of the Wrangler bench on the latest offside call against the Mudbugs. Ben Ivey will take it against Hayden Nickel. The two captains will duel. Mudbugs get the puck off that draw. It went all the way over towards the near side boards. Wranglers bottle up the Mudbugs at the Wrangler blue line on the entry. This time they make it in as Cook will fire it around into the Wranglers zone on the far side. Shot from the wall is stopped by McDonough. It'll be picked up by Jack McDonald, looked to scamper out of his own zone. Finds Ben Ivey at the red line. And the Mudbugs will repossess. We're under 6 minutes to go in the first. Cook moves it backwards towards Haru. He'll play it even further backwards for Fleet. And now he pushes it forward. We're looking for Seminara. He'll just plug it into the Wranglers zone and head towards the puck afterwards on the forecheck. As Kruklitis moves it from corner to corner. Boucher gets in the way. Ben Ivey a stick on it, and he's able to get it out to the neutral zone. Good play there from the Wranglers captain, who shut down that latest Mudbug attempt. Zushinsky will blast it back into the Wranglers zone. McDonough will field it behind the cage. He'll paddle it along towards the near side half wall, where it's met by Seminara. Mudbugs look to play it back up to the line, but it splits the D and back into Shreveport territory. Fleet upwards, connects with Seminara. Finds a man on the right wing in Boucher. Looks to drive towards the net, but an excellent defensive play by Morris gets the steal. He looks to spur Godowski into motion. He springs it into the Shreveport zone. Morris after it. Phillips on the forecheck. Gets it for the Wranglers. Looks to center it. Pass was behind Morris, and the Mudbugs take it away. Through center. Austin levels it into the Wranglers zone. Players converge in the near corner. Deeb looks to work away from the pressure of McRoberts as they're tied up behind the play. Deeb got McRoberts in a headlock. And looks like the officials don't care. And he's back up at the right point. Austin will shovel it back down deep. McDonough quickly pumps it along towards the near side. Pukkanen gets a stick on it out to center. Wranglers might have numbers as Pukkanen to Phillips on the left wing. Phillips back to Pukkanen, and Goich gets a stick on it on the poke check to deny the Wranglers on the doorstep. Puck is flung back out to center. Gagnon moves it backwards. He takes a shot behind the play on Deeb, and now Phillips joins that party. And now we get a whistle with 3:39 to go in the first period. All that happening right in front of the Mudbug bench. And the Wranglers are going to have to hope that nobody saw that one, except for the, I want to say maybe 2,000 plus wannabe referees in attendance. And luckily for the Wranglers, that's exactly the case. No penalty off of that last play. And hey, it's all fine and dandy if the officials don't see it. It's just when you get caught, now that's when you have a problem. Remains a 1-0 Wrangler lead, 3:39 to go in the first period. Next draw on the near circle of the Wranglers zone. It's won by Amarillo. To the corner it goes. Haldenby gets a steal for the moment. He's working against McNaughton, although Gagnon is there to pick up a puck for the Wranglers. They can't get it out. Mudbugs move from high to low behind the net. Haldenby on his backhand moves it to the blue paint, and a block by the Wranglers directs it behind the goal line once again. Gagnon has a man pinned up against the end wall. Gagnon will play his college hockey at the University of Alasha Anchorage, Division I. Made that announcement in January as the puck is still pinned up against the boards. Gagnon was the League Defenseman of the Month in January. As fans urging for play to move on, getting restless here, a little unhappy. They're under 3 minutes to go in the first. Mudbugs come away with it. They look to center as Vassilo is there trying to dig the puck out of his skates, and he does. Moving along towards the far side wall. Scampering in is Murray. Centering feed goes off the stick of Pukkanen, and he will move it out to center ice. Wranglers with the puck now. In open space, it's Gagnon twisting and turning in front of his own net. Is able to evade the forecheck of Cook. From center ice, Murch will plug it back into the Wranglers zone. McDonough with it. Backhand paddle to Gagnon. He'll slide it along the far side wall where Pukkanen will knock it back out to center. Wranglers get a partial line change as Jasser re-enters the Wranglers zone. Center point, looks to move it to his right for Murch. Fluttering puck in on goal to McDonough is swept away. At the end wall, Nickel on his forehand, working against McDonald. Nickel goes down. Mudbugs get the penalty as the Wranglers touch up. Shreveport's going to head to the power play with 1:55 to go in the first. It looks like they're going to get Jack McDonald for tripping. Now make that holding. Either way, Nickel went down to the ice. And so to the dismay of Jack McDonald, the Mudbugs go back to the power play. Good news for the Wranglers. Penalty kill stood tall and was excellent on that last sequence. The kill is 1 for 1 so far here tonight. They'll look to go 2 for 2. Now seeing as if the Mudbugs don't score on this man advantage chance, they'll open the second period with 5 seconds of power play time, but we've got a long way to go before that's a reality. Draw to the left of McDonough. McRoberts, Ivy Twins, and DeMarco, your 4 penalty killers. And looks like McRoberts was trying to spar with Murphy off the draw. That's one of my favorite things about Henry McRoberts, man. He is tough as nails. He does not let anything slide. He's stout defensively. He's just very, very physical. As the Mudbugs win the draw, Fleet at the line to Murphy, back to Fleet. Right wing is Burke. Mudbugs taking their time, is now below the goal line. Sharp angle shot there is flung wide in and out the other side. At the line, Fleet has it. Mudbugs going D to D. Very methodical approach here. Is on the right circle. Burke looks to play it towards the middle. Jack Ivy is there to block the pass. Murphy has it. Exchanges in the right corner. Centering feed for Fleet. Goes off his skate. Pops up into the air and into the Wranglers' possession. The rainbow into the air. Jack Ivy off to the races towards the goal. Can't get a touch on it as it rolls in on Goich. Oh, what an opportunity there. Shorthanded for the Wranglers, but they just couldn't get a stick on the puck. Dangerous chance there for Jack Ivy. He was looking to double dip and get his second goal of the game. Play back down into the Wranglers' end. Players converge at the end wall. Under a minute to go in the first period. DeMarco looks to come away with the puck. Moves between the circles. Deeb has it. He controls at the right point. Deeb down the wall. Up to the line. Murphy across for a shot. McDonough the save on Liam Fleet. McDonough was there and ready for the one-timer from Liam Fleet. And he denies the Mudbugs the goal with 45.3 seconds to go in the first period. 50 seconds remain on the Mudbug power play. Looks like Connor McDonough is sharp here tonight. He's made some excellent saves here in the first period. As the draw will be to his right, it's going to be Haldenby against Morris. 4 penalty killers out there for the Wranglers. Morris, Gagnon, McNaughton, and Troutwine. Mudbugs win the draw, shot off the draw. And McDonough with the pad save, directs it towards the near side. Players chop at it, goes up into the air, settled down by the Mudbugs. There's Cook on the far side, low to high. Nickel has it at the line. To the right wing, Voslo back to Nickel. He fumbles the puck. Mudbugs keep possession though, is on the right wing. Voslo shoots. McDonough eats that one up. An easy save for number 1 with 23.9 to go in the first period. 29 seconds remain on the Mudbug power play. The draw will be on the near side of the Wranglers zone. Haldenby to take it against Ben Ivy, who is fresh off the bench. And Ben wins that draw, gets it to Gagnon. Wranglers possess. Jack Ivy tries to swat it out of the zone, but he's unsuccessful in doing so. He's on the far side. Cook has it, but a nice defensive stick by the Wranglers captain directs the puck back into the Mudbugs zone. The Ivy twins seem to be buzzing here tonight. As Jack has the goal, the Wranglers are buzzing defensively. Mudbugs plug it back into the Wranglers zone. Nothing more out of that as the first period expires. Shreveport will open the second period with 5 seconds of power play time. After 20 minutes of play, the Wranglers have the lead. It's 1-0 off of Jack Ivy's 27th goal of the season. We'll talk a little bit more about it, recap the first period of play, look forward to period number 2, and also take a peek at our out-of-town scoreboard to see what's going on around the league. As it's a busy night in the South Division, a lot is coming up on the first intermission report presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. After 20 minutes of play, it's the Wranglers 1 and the Mudbugs nothing. Guy Chiarenza here on the first intermission report from George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum here in Shreveport. You know you're in the swamp when you see mosquitoes flying around at center ice. As I saw a couple fly by me here very slowly here right before I started off the intermission show. But, man, you know, it's swampy down here, very humid, very rainy. You know, that Tom Petty wasn't kidding when he sung about that Louisiana rain. As yesterday was a rainy day, overcast for most of the day, but as we were driving into the arena, the sun finally broke, and it actually turned out to be a very nice and pleasant drive over to the Coliseum here today, and I think that might be symbolic of the way things are going here for the Wranglers tonight. As the Wranglers open up this scoring in the first period, Jack Ivey only takes him 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get the job done. Wranglers on the power play in a rare 4-on-3 man advantage situation. Not something that you really practice all that much or really see all that much, but the Wranglers on that opportunity take advantage and score. I initially thought that goal went to Nick Troutwine, and I might have to apologize to Jack Ivey behind the game, maybe to both of them, saying, I guess I got that one wrong. But here's the story as Gagnon has it on the near circle, moves it up to Troutwine at the line. He takes a blast of a shot, uncorks it from the blue line, and next thing I know, it's in the back of the net. Jack Ivey was stationed out in front. I initially thought it was Troutwine's goal, but we saw Jack Ivey just moments later kind of patting his thigh to say, it went off my leg, it's my goal. And so for Jack Ivey, that's another power play goal on the season for number 6 in white. That's his 13th power play tally of the season. Coming into tonight's matchup, he had the 4th most power play goals in the league. I think now might be close to 3rd. I'll have to double check. I know he was tied for 4th, so either he has sole possession of 4th place, depending on how things are shaking out around the rest of the league. Could be top 3, not quite sure. I don't want to give any false information, but it's another power play goal for Jack Ivey as he gets the job done. He is top 5 in the North American Hockey League in goals. He now has 27 on the year. As for Nick Troutwine, who's playing in his 27th game in a Wrangler uniform, he now has 1 goal and 6 assists with the Wranglers this season. As I've been very impressed with his play here ever since he joined the Wranglers on December 1st in the trade from the Minnesota Wilderness. I think he's going to be a key piece for the Wranglers down the stretch and heading into the Robertson Cup playoffs. And the secondary assist, of course, does go to Nolan Gagnon. And for Gagnon, that's a milestone assist because that is assist number 30 on the season for the standout defenseman from Metcalfe, Ontario. Gagnon quickly moved the puck up to Troutwine in open space. He fired the shot that went off the thigh of Jack Ivey and in behind Goich for what right now is the game's only goal, although it did not take long for us to realize that tempers were going to flare in this game, and it's going to be a nasty one as very early on we saw a couple of skirmishes, and then at one point we just saw Mr. Baker, our head official, say, you know what, we're not doing this. Two of you were going to the box. We had some 4-on-4 time, and then the Wranglers were able to draw a penalty there and get the 4-on-3 man advantage on which Jack Ivey scored. And that's the game's only goal. And to this point, the Wranglers have gone 1 for 1 on the man advantage. The Mudbugs at this point are 0 for 2 on the man advantage, although the Wranglers still in the middle of a penalty kill, 5 seconds remaining on that. So, I mean, crazier things have happened. I guess the Mudbugs could technically still score on the man advantage with that amount of time, although it's highly unlikely. So the penalty kill doing an excellent job so far here tonight. Wranglers winning the special teams battle, and that's really something that we talked about being a big point of emphasis in the pregame show. In fact, this is the Wranglers' first power play goal since February 17th at El Paso, where they scored 3 power play goals. And, of course, the Wranglers ended up winning that game against the Rhinos. They've been 0 for 8 over their last 4 games. And then over the course of this losing streak, the Wranglers have allowed a power play goal in each game that they have lost in the 4 straight. The Wranglers have gone 5 for 12 on the PK in that span. So if the Wranglers want to turn a corner here and start to string together a few wins and really want to get the momentum back in their favor heading down the stretch towards the playoffs, and they want to win against a really good Mudbug team here tonight, we knew special teams were going to have to play a factor. We knew the Wranglers would have to try and right the ship in that department, and so far they've checked all the boxes. They've done a phenomenal job on special teams and the penalty kill and the power play here tonight against the Shreveport Mudbugs, who really been firing on all cylinders when it comes to special teams. The Mudbugs had a 9-game win streak. They've won 13 of their last 15, and a lot of that was largely due in part to their stellar special teams play. You got to tip your cap to Jason Campbell, Soupy Campbell as they call him here in Shreveport. He's done a really good job of building up the special teams for the Mudbugs. And for both of these teams, they both boast some of the best special teams units in the league. It was only a matter of time before the Wranglers that the power play started to click again. Penalty kill started to get things going. And looks like tonight is the night to look to continue that trend in the final 2 periods of this one. But so far, special teams have played a big factor. Wranglers on the right end of that so far. Again, we talked about it earlier on. This game got really physical really early. We saw, looks like a combined eight penalties, I believe, in the first period alone. Make that 9, as we had a couple of offsetting penalties. So just looking at what I had written down, and now looking at the website, which is a bit more accurate than what I write down, because sometimes I don't write things down in a hurry. But looks like 9 combined penalties in the first period. A couple of those offsetting, giving us 4-on-4s. Looks like the officiating crew is running a tight ship here tonight. They don't want to let anything slide. And so you usually see that in the final game of a season series, where speak now, forever hold your peace. If you got something to say, you got something to do, you got to do it here. Otherwise, that's it for the regular season. And you may or may not see each other in the playoffs. And so for the Mudbugs and the Wranglers, more so the Wranglers and the Mudbugs, the Wranglers both teams play a very physical style of play. And the Wranglers are one of those teams where they're very, very big, and they'll try and wear you down with their size. They're very physical, and they're not going to back away from that at all. If something happens, you better believe that the Wranglers will be there to respond in some way, shape, or form. And so at one point, it looks like the entire third line for the Wranglers, Godowski, Morris, and Phillips, were going to take a seat in the penalty box. Morris was able to escape his sentence and return to play, but that's just the Amarillo Wranglers for you. They're the biggest team in junior hockey. There's not very many guys on this team that are under 6 feet tall. And so they're a big bruising team, and I think their size is going to be one of their advantages going into the playoffs. And if the Wranglers can continue to play well on special teams and find their scoring touch, they're going to be a very dangerous team down the stretch. So let's talk playoff picture before we take a break and then come back to look at the out-of-town scoreboard, where we'll talk about the second period a little bit more. But as for now, Wranglers sit at 5th place in the South Division. Now, New Mexico is 2 points ahead of Amarillo for 4th place with 62. Now, if the season ended today, the Wranglers would take on the Ice Wolves in the play-in round, where the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place teams will play a best-of-3 series to move on to the first round of the Robertson Cup playoffs. So it would be the Wranglers against New Mexico, and those games would be played over at Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque. Now, all 3 of those games, if it gets to the potential 3, will be played in the same building. There's no traveling. It's just all in one venue, which makes home ice advantage in the play-in critical. The Mudbugs have already punched their ticket. They're top 2 in the South Division. They have their eyes set on a first-round bye. For the Wranglers, they will look to get home ice advantage and play playoff hockey in the friendly confines of the Budweiser bullpen. And they're going to need some wins here down the stretch as they're jockeying with the Ice Wolves for that home ice advantage in the play-in. And so the Ice Wolves do have a game in hand against the Wranglers. Not against the Wranglers, but I guess left on the season, as Amarillo, coming in tonight's play, had 9 games left. New Mexico had 10. The Ice Wolves are in action here tonight, as are the El Paso Rhinos. We will see what they're up to on the other side of the break, and we'll talk a little bit more playoff picture and what's at stake here tonight. As for us so far, it's the Wranglers 1 and the Mudbugs nothing after 20 minutes of play. as the first intermission report presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages rolls on after a couple of minutes. On the break, we'll be back in just a few moments on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to Mudtown, where the Wranglers have a 1-0 lead over the Mudbugs after 20 minutes of play. Guy Chiarenza here, first intermission report rolls on, presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. Jack Ivey is the first and only goal of the game to this point. Usually, and recently, it's taken the Wranglers a while to get that first goal. They haven't been much of a first-period scoring team, but tonight, different story. Wranglers trying to turn over a new leaf and start a win streak here against a very good Mudbug team. Kara Farrell last night predicted Jack Ivey getting the first goal. You're a night too late, but we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. So congratulations to Kara on picking Jack Ivey to get the game's first goal, and that's been a pretty good pick this season as Jack leads the team with 27 goals. So let's look at our out-of-town scoreboard, see what's going on around the league as we talk a little bit more about what's at stake here tonight. As I will refresh my page, and we will start our journey over at American Bank Center. It's the Lone Star Brahmas taking on the Corpus Christi Ice Rays, and the Brahmas have a 2-0 lead over Corpus Christi with a little under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Lone Star getting goals from Connor Bergeron, and the website just says away unknown player, so that may be a new Brahma. We haven't seen him in a while, so I can't say for sure, but either way, the Brahmas have a 2-0 lead. Over at El Paso County Event Center, it's the Warriors and the Rhinos just getting underway. I mean, that game is just fresh out of the womb, just 15 seconds young. We'll keep an eye on that one as the night rolls on. And then finally, we'll work our way over to Outpost Ice Arenas where, hold up, look out, the Colorado Grit trying to pull off the upset, help out the Wranglers here tonight. The Grit have a 2-0 lead over the Ice Wolves after 20 minutes of play over in Albuquerque. Oh my goodness, could it be possible? Nola Grolnick, Landon West, the two-goal scorers for Colorado, as the Grit look to pull off the upset in the desert. That would certainly help the Wranglers very, very much, as the Wranglers is 2 points behind the Ice Wolves. So if Amarillo can find a way to win here tonight, Ice Wolves lose. They're tied for fourth place in the division. And then I think at that point we have to start looking at some tiebreakers, because these teams are very, very close to having identical records. I know at some point we're all tied up in certain aspects. It all just comes down to a coin flip. But that would be like a 1 in a million kind of chance right there. And I guess that would be something. I don't know if they televise that or whatever. Maybe let me flip the coin. Maybe not. I might have a, maybe they say I'm biased. Who knows? I'd call it fair. I'd call it fair. But hey, you know what? We don't need to talk about that, because right now we're talking about the second period of play. Wranglers and Mudbugs working their way back out to the playing surface. Wranglers really checked a lot of boxes in the first period. They came out strong, got the game's first goal on the power play nonetheless, got the special teams rolling once again. They looked really good in the first period. I think here in the second, you'd really like to see more of the same. The one thing that does glare against the Wranglers after 20 minutes of play is the shot count. That belongs to Shreveport, 15-6. So certainly in the second period, the Wranglers looking to up their shot volume in the second period. Otherwise, I really like what the Wranglers put together in terms of performance in the first period. So I really like what the Wranglers were able to do on the forecheck. Morley Phillips really leading the way in that department. I think he's been very, very strong on the forecheck over the last couple of months, really, and I like to really spotlight his play over that span. He's been phenomenal. And really, that third line for the Wranglers, I thought has been really, really good here tonight. Gadowski, Morris, and Phillips, not just physically, but again on the forecheck and making plays happen. And then, of course, the Ivy twins, Jack McDonald, buzzing here tonight as the Wranglers look to pick up a big 2 points here in the Swamp. So both teams back out here for the second period. Lone goal belonging to Jack Ivy. Wranglers will skate from left to right, Mudbugs from right to left. Wranglers wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers, professional red trim. Mudbugs are sporting a red college-style jersey with a black stripe around the chest and Mudbugs cursive font in said black stripe with white numbers and white lettering. It's the season series finale between these two clubs. Mudbugs lead the season series 2-1. Both Mudbug victories have come by the final score of 5-1. The one Wrangler victory was 2-0, where McDonough posted his only shutout of the season. Can he do it again here tonight? I'm not going to jinx him, but let's see. As off the ensuing draw, the Mudbugs win it. Plays back into the Shreveport zone while Murphy looks to evade Gadowski as the penalty expires. It's another kill for the Wranglers. We're back to 5-on-5. It glances off a stick and down below the Wrangler goal line. Darting after it was Fleet. Make that Cook. 17-7. Mudbugs possess as they go across to the left side. Murphy is shot. Glances off a leg to the far corner. And it'll be gathered by Gagnon, who moves it forward for Morris. Quick pass to the left wing. They look to return it to Morris. It was out in front of him, but he scampers and gets it below the goal line. Gadowski there gets shoved down to the ice behind the Shreveport cage. Centering feed is picked off by the Mudbugs, and now they turn up ice. On the right wing, it's Cook with speed. A shot. Blocker saved by McDonough. Rebound goes to Luke Morris on the near side as he'll flip it into the Mudbug zone. Takes a couple skips and back out into Shreveport territory. A pretty good action so far here in the first minute of the second period as the Mudbugs look to get back to work offensively. It's Austin moving it in. Buklitas cuts him off, pushes the puck forward. Litchard holds it in, cycles around, moves from the right side, and his shot goes off the end wall. Deeb moves it towards the far corner. Phillips is there. Litchard gets the puck back for Shreveport, banks it off the wall, looking for a man moving forward in Burke. Although Kyle DeMarco is there to sniff it out. Almost a 2-on-1 for the Wranglers the other way, but Morley Phillips couldn't catch up to the puck. Mudbugs will float it back into the Wranglers zone quickly. DeMarco hacks it back into Mudbug territory, no icing. Mudbugs will ship it back out to center ice where DeMarco will fire it back in from center red. Haru will blast it into the Wranglers zone. That's an icing on Shreveport. With 18:08 to go in the second period. So this draw is going to come all the way back into this Shreveport zone to the right of Goich. Ben Ivy in the first line out there for the Wranglers to take the draw against Carter McKay. 2D-men for Amarillo. Looks like TJ Ritchie and Cole Semenyuk, the pairing out there right now. Contested puck goes the Mudbugs' way. They flip it back out to the Wranglers zone. Wranglers go D to D. Semenyuk feeling the pressure from Seminara. Gets help from Ritchie to slide it back out to the Mudbug blue line. Backpedaling is Haru. Will go D to D for Sushinsky. Wranglers sniff out the puck and move forward. McDonald gets crunched right at the Mudbug blue line dangerously, and that draws a penalty. And McDonald slow to get up. Looks like he's still down in my blind spot right now. Ben Ivy over to check on him. And that hit was made by Logan Haru. He gets sent to the penalty box. 2 minutes and 18 seconds into the second period. McDonald now up to 2 knees. Hopefully he's going to be all right. That was a hard hit right in front of the boards at the Mudbug blue line. It's hard to say how far away that really was because that's in my blind spot, but I have to think usually hits of those nature are usually a couple feet away from the boards. Causes a very awkward collision into the boards, so hopefully for McDonald, he's going to be all right. And the good news, he's moving around under his own power, gets up to 2 feet. And back up on his feet, he'll work his way over to the bench. So that's a really good sign for the Wranglers and McDonald. Hate to see a man go down like that. Thank you to the Shreveport athletic trainer there, medical staff of the Mudbugs for taking a look at McDonald there. And so the Wranglers on the power play early here in the second period have a chance to take a 2-0 lead. The official call is 2 minutes to Haru for boarding. And the Wranglers will look to get to work. They're on the far circle. Contested puck gets caught up in the skates of the linesman. Pukinen comes away with it on the right side. At the half wall, banks it back up looking for Gagnon, but it goes astray and Burke moves it out of the Mudbug zone. Ben Ivy's able to collect it in the Wranglers zone. Peels away from the attack of Burke, who goes towards the bench. And now the Wranglers start the next breakout. Jack Ivy finds Pukinen in motion, loses a handle on the puck, and Shreveport will send it back down. As Hayden Niccolo sniffed out that play, and now he gets a quick change. Wranglers restarting from their own end. It's Gagnon leading the charge. To the left wing, it's Ben Ivy. Blasts it in from center red. It goes all the way around towards the near half wall and up to the point for Gagnon. Loses a stick on it, and now looks like that's knee on knee right at the blue line, and that draws an arm as Gagnon collided with Ryan Burke. And I don't think that was intentional at all, but Gagnon's going to get a penalty for that. As it looks like Gagnon saw Burke coming, kind of trying to step away from him, and in doing so, the legs caught together. And Gagnon's going to get a penalty there. It's going to be tripping. If that wasn't knee on knee, it was very close to being so. It's another dangerous play that you hate to see. It just kind of happens. You try and avoid it. And certainly not intentional by Gagnon or Burke, but unfortunately for the Wranglers, that puts an end to their power play. So we're now 4-on-4 for the next minute and 7, the third such occurrence in tonight's game. Draw to the left of McDonough. Get a false start on that draw. Puck is chopped over towards the far side boards. Semeniuk tries to dig it free. The pile moves behind McDonough, and now the Mudbugs move it from low to high, but fumbling the puck at the right point was Haldenby. And so the Mudbugs will have to reset. We're still 4-on-4 for the next 50 seconds as Haldenby enters, doing it on his own. On the right wing, goes around the net, around Semeniuk, although he's still defending. Nice play by Semeniuk to push Haldenby to the corner. And now he comes away with the puck. Great play there by Semeniuk, although Haldenby steals it back. He pushes it towards the net, sprawling out is DeMarco to block it. Another great play there from the Wranglers defense. And now Semeniuk will pick up the puck in the far corner, find DeMarco behind the net, as he looks to evade the pressure of Litchard. And he's successful in doing so as Morris chugs along the right wing, fires a shot into the glove of Goich. It looks like he wanted to play that puck, but a quick whistle puts an end to that. Stops time with 15:51 to go in the second period. 10 seconds remain on the 4-on-4, and then the Mudbugs will have 53 seconds of power play time to work with. In a game where the Wranglers lead 1-0 on a power play goal that was scored 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Draw in the near circle, Jack Ivey to take it. It's Burke that wins it. And the Mudbugs will possess. And so they'll just wait out the penalty to Haru. He'll come out of the box right now. Now the Mudbugs on the power play. Fleet drives down the right wing, stops at the point. Looks to move towards the high slot. Dishes it back towards his right for Burke. Centering feed, connects deep to the goal. And a great defensive play by Jack Ivey to stymie him. Mudbugs keep possession. Left side Murphy, quick pass across. And a save McDonough from right to left. And the Wranglers are able to get a clear on the rebounds. Boy, is Connor McDonough sharp here tonight. It's not an easy save moving in motion. But again, he reads it like a book and keeps the Mudbugs off the board. Shreveport regroups and reloads as Murphy re-enters. Dump and chase to himself. He paddles it along towards the right point. And now fumbling the puck is Fleet. Ben Ivey, after it's short-handed, pushes it towards the Mudbug zone. He gets the steal, centers it for Jack Ivey. But the pass is offline. But that'll pretty much do it for the Mudbug power play. We're back to even strength. Great play there from the Ivey twins. Puck is loose at the Wrangler blue line. Mudbugs corral it at the center ice logo. And they'll just punch it back in and get a line change. 14:33 to go in the second period. Wranglers still lead it by the score of 1-0. Godowski tries to shovel it into the Mudbug zone. They quickly put an end to that. As Shreveport moves down the right wing, Seminara will knock it behind McDonough. It'll be picked up by Nick Troutwine. Godowski at the right wing looks to find Phillips in motion. Boucher gets in the way of that. Now Shreveport will possess in the depths of their own zone. Szysinski finds Murray, and upwards he's got Seminara. Seminara loses the puck to McNaughton. Good active stick there from 27 and White. He'll catapult it back into the Mudbug zone. Wranglers look to get to work on the forecheck. McNaughton from the right side to the middle. Shot by Phillips, and a kick save by Goish to deny number 21. Shot from the left side is blocked by the Mudbugs. Wranglers buzzing here. From high to low the puck goes around it behind the net. Phillips pump it back towards the near side, and the Mudbugs get a clear. Wranglers look to quickly get back on their horse as they fling it back in on goal to Goich. He makes no mistake as Abrant was chugging towards the net. Goich will cover with 13:22 to go in the second period. Really like that last shift from Connor McNaughton and company. Morley Phillips also having a really good shift there. It's that kind of work that the Wranglers need to win games like this. And so far, I've been pretty impressed. Draw in the left circle, won by the Wranglers. At the point, TJ Ritchie keeps it in. He'll slug it down below the goal line. Abrant is there in the near corner. Jousts with a couple of Mudbugs. Puck squeaks free. And Shreveport gets it back out the center. From the red line, McRoberts tries to wind it in. Boomerang's back. The Mudbugs spur with numbers. Towards the goal. Nickel. Poke check by McDonough. In close quarters with Nickel makes a save. And now another attempt is shut down by the Wranglers netminder. Now the Mudbugs getting chances. Is at the left point. Jasser settles it down and shoots. McDonough pad save. We get a stoppage, but we're going to get a penalty here with 12:44 to go in the second period. Question is who's it on? It's going to be against the Mudbugs. It's going to be cross-checking on Murch, I believe, and the Wranglers will head back to the power play. So the Wranglers putting in great work offensively, but Mudbugs returning the favor in the Wranglers' end. And Connor McDonough, man, it's just, I mean, what more can you say about this guy? It's just magical what he's able to do between the pipes for the Wranglers this season. And really, how far the Wranglers go in the playoffs is going to be determined by his play. Wranglers win the draw. Quick pass to Gagne on a shot. Kick save by Gorge. Puck goes below the goal line. Bounces to the stick of Fleet, hops it over for Burke, and he'll get it down for a clear with 12:30 to go in the second. Gagnon with it, deep in the depths of his own zone, emerges to play it upwards for Pukkanen. He glides for the neutral zone. Feathers it to his right for Jack Ivey. Players crunch behind the net. Puukkonen spurs it along the near side wall for Gagnon, who's pinching down. Play continues at the goal line and now goes from low to high. Gagnon flings it across towards the left side. Wranglers trying to get a stick on as Jack Ivey has it left side. McDonald across, Puukkonen a shot, and the one-timer goes off the side of the net. All the Wranglers had Goich beat. The shot was just off the mark. Very rare occurrence from Topi Puukkonen. It remains a 1-0 Wrangler lead as they get a shift change. Under a minute to go on the Wrangler power play. 11:38 to go in the second. Gagnon to his left. DeMarco will flip it off a stick and into the Wrangler bench. That'll stop time with 11:28 to go in the second. 45 seconds remain on the Wrangler power play. And you got to give credit to the Wranglers. It looked like the Mudbugs were going to get a clear on that last shift. A steal keeps it in the Wranglers' possession, and the next thing you know, the Wranglers are moving towards the net. They get it across to Puukkonen on the near side, and the one-timer just off the mark. Doesn't happen very often for Topi Puukkonen. He's had an excellent season for the Wranglers this year to the tune of 22 goals and 20 assists for 42 points. As the Wranglers win the neutral zone draw. They'll chuck it back into the Mudbug zone, but quickly Shreveport scampers back out to center. Shot from the blue line is covered by McDonough with 31 seconds to go on the power play. And it looks like Wranglers opting to not get a line change here. So staying out is Morris, Abrout, Troutwine, DeMarco, and McNaughton. It looks like they're going to move this draw from the far circle to the near side. And so it will be to the right of McDonough. Burke to take it against Morris. Luke Morris has been one of the Wranglers' best face-off takers this season. They look to get the draw done here and get a false start. And so we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Maybe this time's the charm. And it is. Mudbugs get the puck off of the draw where a couple players were tied up. Troutwine quickly gets possession back into the Wranglers' hands as he winds it in deep. Peru blasts it back out to center. Troutwine picks it up in front of his own bench. Although the Mudbugs get a steal. Right wing, it's Burke defending him, DeMarco. Burke pulls up. Good play by Kyle DeMarco and a shot block there. Shuts down the Mudbug attempt. That's Kyle DeMarco for you, the Michigan man. He's just very, very reliable defensively, and it's very easy to take a guy like that for granted, but we're not going to let it go unnoticed. Great play there from Kyle. The Wranglers tap it back into the Mudbug zone. We're back to 5-on-5 with 10:32 to go in the second period. Mudbugs are offside as they try and enter the Wranglers zone. Stops time with 10:29 to go in the second period. Wranglers still with a 1-0 lead here at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum. We'll be back in just a few moments on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to Shreveport. The Wranglers have a 1-0 lead. Shot count heavily favors the Mudbugs despite the Wranglers leading. And Shreveport leads that department 20-9. Now, this is one of those buildings where it's very, very old. In fact, it's so old that Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash performed concerts here, so I think that in itself tells you how old this building is. Very historic venue, but because of that, it's one of those buildings where the scoreboard does not display the shot counts. I think the only other in division that is like that is Blazers Ice Center. And so just kind of going off of the league website in that department, but the Mudbugs have the edge 20-9. Wranglers win the neutral zone draw. Kuklitis feeds it forward. He was looking for Trace Day. Wranglers able to corral the puck at the right point as Miller twisting and turning. Sees it roll off his stick and onto the tape of Murray. Mudbugs can't get it out. Left side shot from Gerhard. Goes wide of the goal. Miller chasing after it. Day gets it on the forecheck. Shoulder fake shooting, and he skies it over the net. Good chance there from Trace Day. Maybe just gripped the stick a little too tight as Semenyuk winds it back behind the goal. Wranglers pinching, trying to keep it in. Kuklitis gloves it down on the far side wall. They'll battle for it. Day on the forecheck looks to get it back as it rolls from corner to corner on the near side. Miller on the forecheck. Wranglers doing good work here as the fourth line looks to keep the puck in the zone, and they do. Semenyuk turning, fires it back in. Wranglers get a partial change. Off goes Kuklitis, on comes McRoberts. Day gets a steal to the goal. Day shooting, score! Trace Day snipes it by Goich, and the Wranglers lead 2-0 with 9:27 to go in the second. What a shot from Trace Day. He gets redemption after firing it over the goal on his first attempt. He does not miss the mark on his second, and Day gets the Wranglers back on the board. It's 2-0 Wranglers. And you can kind of just tell that when Trace Day stepped over the bench onto the ice on that last shift, he wasn't going back without a goal or a point. And for Day, he picks up goal number 3 on the season. And I think he's going to be another one of those guys that if the Wranglers can get him going down the stretch, he's going to play a big part in how deep the Wranglers go in the Robertson Cup playoffs. So it's now a 2-0 Wrangler lead, bottom half of the second period. McDonald looking for more, driving towards the goal. McDonald fires in close quarters, and Goich shuts it down, although the Mudbugs were draped all over him. And Jack Ivey takes offense. We get a sparring match after the whistle. 4 Mudbugs are there. Ben Ivey and Jack Ivey, the lone Wranglers, as McDonald is tied up with Fleet in front of the Shreveport cage in the blue paint, and Fleet still has the collar of McDonald's jersey in his glove. He now finally lets go. The temper's flaring. Looks like Jonah Jasser is headed towards the Mudbug penalty box, so he will climb in. Meanwhile, the Day goals assisted by Grayson Gerhard and Cole Semenyuk. So Semenyuk picks up his second point as a Wrangler, as now Jack Ivey goes into the box. And Gerhard, who had 4 points in February in just 7 games, continues his hot tear. He now has point number 7 on the year. So Jack Ivey takes a seat. Jasser already sitting down. I'll be interested to see what comes out of this. And if it's 4-on-4 again, then that'll be the 4th such instance of the night. So it's 2 minutes, I believe, on both sides. Jonah Jasser 2 for roughing. I have to believe that Jack Ivey getting the same sentence. And no, it's going to be 2 minutes for slashing on Jack Ivey. So interesting. Usually when you get a play like that, it's just pretty much 2 for roughing, but Jasser gets the roughing call, Ivey with the slash, and so for the 4th time here tonight, we're going to go 4-on-4, which really kind of tells you the kind of game that these officials want to call here tonight. All that coming with 9:10 to go here in the second period. And so it looks like this officiating crew got the memo that it's a season series finale. Two very tough teams, very strong teams, physical teams. The memo was to not let this thing get out of control, and because of that, we're back to 4-on-4. Wranglers with a 2-0 lead, the most recent goal. Trace Day gets it. It's his third of the year. Has now given the Wranglers a 2-goal lead here at the Pond. So the draw will be to the right of Goich. McNaughton will take it against Vassalo, and McNaughton wins it cleanly, maybe a little too cleanly, and it goes all the way back out to center. Nonetheless, the Wranglers possess the puck, but they'll have to start from their own zone as Troutwine will meander up to his blue line, gain center red, will fire it around into the Mudbug zone. First man on it is Murphy, plays it to Haru behind the cage. Back to Murphy on the far side. Glances off a body, Troutwine pinching, keeps it in. Tries to flip it towards the middle, bounces back up to the left point. Morris across for Gagnon. Over to Troutwine at the left point. He'll snipe a shot, and a glove save by Goich. Stops time with 8:34 to go in the second. 1:24 to go on the 4-on-4. Both teams opting to get a couple of fresh bodies on there. McNaughton staying out there with Morris, DeMarco, and Semeniuk. McNaughton to take this draw against Nickel. The Mudbugs captain will win it. Austin with the puck in the far corner. Darts towards the middle. And will charge to the neutral zone into Wrangler territory. Stops the top of the left circle. On his forehand, finds Deeb at the half wall. Deeb trying to move around Semeniuk. Exchanges with Nickel. Up top, Sushinsky with the shot. McDonough sticks it out of play with 8:07 to go in the second period. 58 seconds remain on the 4-on-4. Looks like it's been one of those nights where if Connor McDonough can see it, he's going to stop it. As he makes another save there, draw will be to his right. Ben Ivy take the draw against Brent Litchard. And Ben out there with Gagnon, Troutwine, and Miller. Puck drifts towards the right point. Fleet settles it down. Moves it across the line to Murch. On the near side, it's Haldenby. Flips it towards the goal, onto the stick of Litchard. Peels back up to the high slot. Moves towards his forehand, right circle. Litchard backpedals. Spins away. Across to the left side is Haldenby. Top of the circle. Moves up to the line. Haldenby on his forehand. Right side. Shot is blocked by Miller, and he goes the other way. Miller's home free. Driving towards the goal with only the goalie to beat. He shoots, and oh, he just fired it wide. And he goes crashing into the net with a ton of speed. Net comes well off of its posts with 7:31 to go in the second, and Miller slow to get up. Hopefully he's all right. The Wranglers block the initial shot. That spurs Miller into motion. Looks like he's okay. He's one of those guys that's always got a smile on his face. He's back up, moving around, which is good to see. They had a really good opportunity there. And on the backhand, got real close to Goich. And I think he just kind of lost the angle at the last second, but looks like Miller going to the box here. So looks like out of all that, Miller's going to get a penalty. I have to think that that might be goaltender interference for running into Goich, although that's one of those plays where I kind of have a lot of trouble with it because Miller's moving towards the net. I mean, he's coming in with a lot of speed, a lot of steam. He takes the shot. What else do you want him to do? Like, where do you want him to go? Right? I mean, if you're trying to score there, how do you not run into Goich? And if you're Goich, how do you not know that he's going to come in towards the goal? So the official penalty against Miller is 2 for roughing. And so Now the Mudbugs themselves have a 4-on-3 power play for the next 22 seconds with 7:31 to go in the second. The draw is going to be to the left of McDonough. Mudbugs win the draw. Haru moving towards his left, stops at the top of the circle, peels back, and leaves it for Nickel. Back to Haru, right circle. To Voslo, back to Haru, a shot, and he scores. Traffic out in front of McDonough. Puck ends up in the back of the net, and the Mudbugs get on the board. It's a power play goal. Logan Haru gets Shreveport on the board. And so both teams have scored on a 4-on-3 power play here tonight. Latest going to the Mudbugs. And once again, it's a 1-goal game. And so that takes the Miller penalty off the board. In 6 seconds, Jasser and Jack Ivey will come back out, and we'll be back to 5-on-5 action. As for the goal, it's Logan Haru's 10th of the season from Colin Vassalo. And interestingly enough, Logan Haru has been scoreless in his last 3 games. He gets on the board there and gets Shreveport on the score sheet here tonight. As Haru now has 7 goals, or excuse me, 1 goal and 6 assists in his last 9 games. Tried to read off my sheet. I think the printer at the hotel was out of ink, so a little bit tough to see here in the low lighting, but that's the stat line for Logan Haru. And the Mudbugs make it a 2-1 hockey game. The ice crew will go out there, pick up the chuck-a-pucks. Looks like Ben Ivey talking things over with Mr. Baker, our referee. Now Hayden Nickel goes over, tries to eavesdrop, get a word of his own. Ben Ivey already hearing enough, moves back towards the bench, and I think I have to wonder, not to speculate or anything, but I gotta wonder if that conversation is about the Miller penalty, which I'm still kind of puzzled on. Again, that's not just a knock on this officiating crew. That's kind of just penalties like that in general, where a guy is moving towards the net with a ton of momentum. I mean, there's not much he can do to avoid colliding with the goaltender there. It wasn't intentional at all. I think Miller was just trying to make a play, made a hockey move. I don't know what else you want him to do, but nonetheless, the Mudbugs get the power play goal. It stands. Score is now 2-1 Wranglers. Still 4-on-4 for the next 3 seconds. Wranglers win the draw. Ben Ivey looks to find McDonald in the attacking end. Penalties expire. We're back to even strength. As Jasser flips it towards McDonough. He'll cover it up with 7:02 to go in the second period. And on that goal by Haru, it was actually kind of really similar to the way that Jack Ivey's goal was scored, except it didn't hit the man out in front, just went into the back of the net cleanly. But kind of eerie how both number 3 defensemen took the initial shot for the respective clubs. Really much the same way, same net even, in the same fashion that Jack Ivey's goal was scored. So the Mudbugs make it 2-1. Wranglers looking to find a response here. They lead 2-1. Semenyuk off the end wall to Kruklides. Fans getting loud here now. The Mudbug goal has jolted some life into them, and now here goes Hayden Nickel on the left wing, pulls at the circle, looks for a trailer and throws it through the feet of Haru. Wranglers catch a break there as the pass was offline. Haru plays it back to the left wing for Nickel. He re-enters. He's working against Semenyuk, and Semenyuk dumps Haru down to the ground. Nice play there from Cole Semeniuk. Mudbugs move it DDD. Shot from the line. Deflection out in front. Backhand shot, and they score. And no goal on Seminara quickly. No goal as it was goaltender interference. They're going to wave it off. We might see video replay come into effect. As there was a cluster of players out in the blue paint. McDonald was down. There was definitely some contact there before the backhand shot was taken. And they're going to send this to video replay. The initial call was no goal. Have to think that Soupy Campbell is going to think about challenging this here. Although it looks like he's going to take a swig of water first before he makes his decision. Meanwhile, fans have already thrown chuck-a-pucks or little lobsters. I don't know what those are. And so we're already going to get a delay for that. And so we'll see exactly what the call is. The goal would have gone to Andrew Seminara, who kind of picked the puck free from that cluster in the blue paint that had impeded McDonough, and backhand shot into the back of the net. Mudbug fans aren't happy about it. And some of them are still throwing chuck-a-pucks, or whatever those things are. I don't think that they got the memo that it was a no-goal. And so, looks like no video replay there, but a penalty on the Mudbugs as Haru is in the box. And so the Wranglers go to the power play once more. And so a lot of commotion happening on that last sequence, but Logan Haru is in the penalty box, 2 minutes for roughing. The Wranglers look to get their second power play goal of the game and restored their 2-goal lead. Draw to the right of Goich on the far circle. Ben Ivy will take the draw and win it. Shot from Jack Ivy quickly. Blocker save by Goich. Second try. Ben Ivy rings it off the pipe. Left side, Jack Ivy a try. It's blocked. On the right point, Gagnon will settle things down. We'll play it back to the left side for Jack Ivy. He'll flip it towards the middle. Pukanen gets a stick on it and over to the left point, but Gagnon can't hold it in. Tries to pitch it back into the zone, but the Wranglers are offside as it did trickle over the blue line and back out to the neutral zone. Oh, man. It's a game of inches, fellas. A game of inches. And Ben Ivy brings it off of the far post. And that's the difference maker from it being a 3-1 game to what is still a 2-1 game. Although I like that last sequence on that last shift from the Wranglers power play so they can continue to cook up something special. Neutral zone draw is won by Shreveport. They fire it down. McDonald got high-sticked behind the play. But looks like the officials didn't see it. Shreveport catches a break there as Jack Ivy re-enters. He flies down the right wing. Below the circle, bounces it off the end wall to McDonald on the far side. He'll backhand it to Pukanen at the half wall. Just a spin away from Murch, but gets pinned up against the boards. Mudbugs dig it free and get the clear with a minute 10 remaining on the Wrangler power play. 5:23 remaining in the second period. Gagnon with it behind McDonough. Fakes a pass and leaves it for DeMarco. Stretch pass. Offline for McNaughton, although no icing. Wranglers get to work. Left point. Troutwine has it. Across for DeMarco. Winds and fires, and it goes off the end glass. To Morris it goes. Looks to go from low to high, although the pass escapes Troutwine. Racing after him is Cook, although McDonough plays the puck and moves it forward. Stretch pass onto the tape of McNaughton, although the bouncing puck is taken away by Shreveport at the Mudbug blue line. And now Fleet will take his time. Move it upwards for Burke, and from the red line, he'll tap it off the end wall to Litchard. We'll brush it back to Shushinsky. Mudbugs killing time here as they just now dump it down for a clear. Maybe one last gasp for the Wranglers here with 10 seconds remaining on the power play. And looks like they're in no hurry, so that'll pretty much end it for the man advantage. Rack to even strength as Haru is out of the box. DeMarco hacks it off the near side wall and in deep. McNaughton on the forecheck. Wranglers try and get the puck back, and they will at center ice on the Mudbug exit. Haru gloves it down, tries to drive into the Wranglers zone, but the Mudbugs are offside with 3:59 to go in the second period. Trace Day and the fourth line out there for the Wranglers. Day scored the most recent Wrangler goal. It was his third of the season. And so far, that's the difference maker here in a 2-1 hockey game. Draw won by Mudbugs. They'll brush into the Wranglers zone off the end wall, onto the stick of Truklidis. Bouncing puck in the slot. It's shot back out to center ice. Day tries to settle down a bouncing puck, unsuccessful in doing so. McKay will punch it back into the Wranglers zone, below the goal line. Boucher comes away with it. Low to high. Murphy, a shot off the end wall. Rebound goes above the goal line and is quickly shoved back down low. Boucher looks to cycle around the net, but a good play by Semeniuk ends that. But boomerangs back to Boucher. Semeniuk is there. So is Day. Wranglers get the puck out of the zone with 3:14 to go in the second. Murphy glances off the stick of Gerhard. Miller moves in down the left wing. Bats it down from his glove to his stick. In the far corner, Day is there as well. Deeb is able to peel it away from the pile to find McKay at the neutral zone. Now go across for Seminara. Looks to find Murphy streaking ahead, but the Mudbugs once again are offside, this time with 2:55 to go in the second. And afterwards, we get some more bad blood in the far corner of the Wranglers zone. It's like Gerhard is there. Murphy for the Mudbugs. Burke and TJ Ritchie looking on. You've seen a lot of physical play in tonight's game. Shot count is even so far in the second period at 8 apiece. Although the Mudbugs do lead the overall total 23-14. Both teams are 1 for 4 on the power play. We've seen a lot of 4-on-4 time here tonight, and the sneaking suspicion tells me that we may see it again at some point in the remainder of the second or somewhere down the line in the third. Neutral zone draw on the near side. McNaughton will take it against Burke. False start on the draw. Settle things down. Burke will regroup and lean in. McNaughton stays put. The draw is won by the Mudbugs. Murray tries to glide it forward. Wranglers respond with a dump in. As it goes into the depths of the Mudbug zone, and they're going to call an icing on that. And so this draw is going to come all the way back into the Wranglers zone with 2:48 to go in the second. Mudbugs will take this opportunity to get a change. Wranglers unable to do so. Although McNaughton going to the bench trying to squirm some more time out of this. And now he will rejoin the play, and he will be the face-off taker. The veteran move there from 27 in white. He's been playing some good hockey over these last couple of games, as McNaughton has 1 goal and 5 assists in his last 10 coming into the matchup. Right point, Fleet to the middle, batted down by Abrant. He moves forward, connects with his countryman in Topi Pukkanen. He rumbles down the right wing, moves towards his forehand, plays it back up top to McRoberts. Filters it towards the goal, deflection off the crossbar, and Abrant on the doorstep can't bat it in. Meanwhile, McNaughton took a shot on that last play. He's reeling, he heads towards the bench. Meanwhile, in the neutral zone, Mudbugs enter Wrangler territory. Jasser cuts towards the middle, tries to chop it towards the net. It gets directed towards the far corner. He'll be picked up by Austin on the wall. Exchanges with Jasser at the circle. Now back up top to Austin. From high to low it goes. On the near side, it's Cook. Drops it below the goal line into the corner for Shusinski. Big hit by TJ Ritchie, bounces him off the puck. Jack Ivey will bat it off the wall and out the center. And now afterwards we have a fight. It's TJ Ritchie against Shusinski. And TJ Ritchie getting a couple lefties. And he's got a righty in there as well. Shusinski fighting for his life. It's TJ Ritchie, the big man, getting in a couple punches. And he drags him down to the ground. TJ Ritchie putting the power in those punches as he wins his first fight in the North American Hockey League. taking down Shuskinski. And TJ Ritchie's got the boys fired up. Attaboy, TJ. He beats up Max Shuskinski in the near corner of the Wranglers zone. TJ Ritchie, the big man, 6'5", 225, went up against Shuskinski, 6'2", 210. Battle of the heavyweights there. And you don't mess around with the Amarillo Wranglers, and you don't mess around with TJ Ritchie. What a fight there. Gives the Wranglers some momentum with 1:49 to go in the second period. And I love that from TJ Ritchie and the Wranglers. This next draw is going to be in the neutral zone on the near side of the Mudbug blue line. I believe that's the first time that Ritchie has gotten to a fight of that nature this season. And Shuskinski's going to be feeling that tomorrow night. And on the right wing, deep in, shoots McDonald with the save. On a quick chance from the Mudbugs in transition. He gloves it down with 1:38 to go in the second period. Draw will be to McDonough's left on the far circle. Man, that fight's got me fired up, and I know the boys are buzzing down there. Wranglers looking to capitalize on the momentum swing late in the second period. This next sequence will start in their own zone. Morris to take the draw against Burke. Wranglers crowding the slot here. Gagnon, Troutwine, and Phillips between the circles. Draw one with the Mudbugs. Quick shot is fired wide left. I guess that's why the Wranglers were crowding the shot, anticipating that from the Mudbugs. And left point deep. Goes the puck behind the net. Godowski banks out the far wall. Mudbugs continue to pressure as Deep spins away in the far corner. Gets it up to the point. Haru across for Murphy. He'll shovel it down deep off the end wall. Geometrically towards the far corner it goes. Litchard on his forehand spins it to the blue paint, in and out the other side. Up top it's Murphy to Haru. Shot towards the goal. He's blocked out in front of the goal. Mudbugs keep possession, is on the right side. They move to the left side. Murphy a shot. Glove save McDonough on Will Murphy from the left circle. Now afterwards looks like Deeb goes down behind the play. As again we get a convergence in the slot with 51 seconds to go in the second period. And they're going to peel everybody away from that pile, put an end to that. Although, put a pin in that. We might not be done with the skirmishes and fights alike. TJ Ritchie with the fight earlier on, beating up Max Shuskinski of Shreveport. Looks like TJ Ritchie and Shuskinski each got 10-minute misconduct on top of the 5-minute for fighting, so we'll see those two return at some point in the third period. But meanwhile, Morley Phillips is going to get a penalty at the end of that last skirmish. So the Mudbugs are going to have a power play here late in the second period. It will be their fifth opportunity on the man advantage as Phillips gets the penalty. Shot is blocked by the Mudbugs off the draw. Haru at the line to the left side for Nickel. Top of the circle, back to Haru. Over to Nickel. Looks to go across. Off the stick of Ben Ivy and up to the line to Nickel. Make that Haru. He has it now across to the right side. Haldenby looks to find Nickel. Left circle. Backhand pass goes up to Haru. Right side. Haldenby drifts in and shoots off the crossbar and stays out. And Jack Ivy takes a hit on the clear. But the Wranglers are able to get it back out to neutral ice. Jack Ivey gets a steal deep into Mudbug territory, although he's all alone behind the goal line. Flings it off the far side wall. It goes to Vassalo. 5 seconds to go. Fires from the line. McDonald the save, and looks like he wanted to try and keep play moving, and he does. And that'll do it for the second period. Man, what a period that was. We'll talk all about it. Recap the action on the second intermission report. For now, it's the Wranglers leading 2-1 here at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum. Mudbugs will have 1 minute and 9 seconds of power play time to work with to begin the third period. As for us, we'll take a couple minutes to let things settle down, take a breather, and then when we return, it's the second intermission report brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. We'll recap all the events of the first 2 periods, look ahead to period 3, and also take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Last time we checked in on the New Mexico Ice Wolves and the Colorado Grit. The Grit were trying to pull off the impossible and get the upset in the desert. We'll check on how that is going when we come back on the second intermission report on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to Mudtown, where the Wranglers have a 2-1 lead over the Shreveport Mudbugs. after 40 minutes of play. Guy Chiarenza here from George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in the season series finale between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. And this one has not disappointed, as it has just been a crazy hockey game. We've had goals, we've had power play goals, we've had saves, we had a fight. Let's talk about it as we bring the game recap to this point right here, right now. Did not take long for the Wranglers to get on the board, and that has been something that they've been trying to get better at, is scoring goals in the first period and scoring the first goal of the game. It comes courtesy of Jack Ivey. 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the first period, as he gets the goal that gets the Wranglers out in front. That was the only goal of the first period, and it was scored on a 4-on-3 situation from Nick Troutwine and Nolan Gagnon. And that was one of those plays where Gagnon has it on the near circle, plays up to the line for Troutwine. He uncorks it from the blue line and had me fooled. I thought it was Troutwine's goals that end up in the back of the net. Looks like upon further review and really the say of Jack Ivey, glanced off of Jack's thigh and into the goal for the 1-0 score. That was the only goal of the first period, though we did see a couple penalties in the first. To that point, the Wranglers went 1-for-1 on the power play, but physicality certainly not lacking in the first period, and that kind of set the tone for what kind of night this was going to be. We've had plenty of penalties. It's a laundry list at this point. I'm running out of room on my sheet. I don't know. I might want to set the betting lines on if I'm going to have to get a new page or not. I'm a little over maybe about 2/3 of the way filled up here. So we'll see. We'll see what the third period has in store. And so we shifted the scene towards the second period. Wranglers had the 1-0 lead there. And you go to the second. Wranglers extend their lead with 9:27 to go in the second. It's Trace Day getting his third goal of the season from Gerhard and Semenuk. And, man, was that a rocket of a shot from Trace Day. And that's one of his strong suits, is his shot. It really very tough to beat. Even the best of goalies in this division, in this league, have had trouble stopping it. I mean, I just think back to New Year's Eve, where Day put on a show in his first multi-point game of his junior career here in Amarillo, where he beat one of the Ice Wolves goaltenders who were pretty good in their own right. They snipe of a shot. He gets the goal here from the left circle to beat Goich to make it a 2-0 hockey game. But the Mudbugs would respond a little over 2 minutes afterwards, as Shreveport had a 4-on-3 power play opportunity of their own, and eerily similar to the way that the Wranglers' first goal was scored. The Mudbugs, in the same end of the ice, really the same play from the near circle, move it up to the line. Logan Haru takes the shot, and the only difference was that it did not hit the man out in front. It just went straight into the back of the net, as Haru gets the goal for Shreveport. It's his 10th goal of the season. McDonald was screened out in front as traffic was passing by. I don't think he had a chance to see that puck. Ends up in the back of the net, and that makes it a 2-1 hockey game, and that's where we stand at this point. So kind of move back to the penalties here in this game. And in a game like this, where it's the season series finale, you know there's bad blood, you know tempers are flaring. If you have something to say, you got to say it now, because you don't know if you're going to see each other in the playoffs down the line. So you got to get everything out of the way, right? And usually the memo to the officiating crew that night is, we got to run a tight ship. We cannot let things get out of hand. And so I think this crew has done a pretty good job of doing that. They're calling a lot of penalties, but you know, they're keeping a control on the game to this point. Now, whether or not they're able to do that in the third period still remains to be seen. It's a tough job. It's not a job that I would want, and that's why they're down there and I'm up here. But we've had a ton of penalties in this game. I believe it was 9 in the first period combined. And you look at the second period, you know, it's a whole lot more. We've seen 4 separate instances of 4-on-4 play, which usually tells you that if there's a scrum after the whistle, it's just, okay, you, one on each side, you're going for a seat. And it takes some time to sit in the timeout chair and think about it. So that's really the kind of game that we've had here in terms of officiating. As to this point, the Wranglers have gone 1-for-4 on the power play. The Mudbugs at this point are 1-for-5, although they will open the third period with a 1 and 9 seconds on the man advantage. We saw that physical flair and tempers coming into play late in the second period as TJ Ritchie gets into a fight. A little under 2 minutes to go in the period with Max Sushinski. And for TJ Ritchie, that's not a guy I would want to get in a fight with, as the big man absolutely beat down Sushinski in the fight. Kind of gave the Wranglers a little bit of momentum heading into the intermission. Got the bench fired up, got me fired up, and I'm really excited for this third period as the Wranglers look to get back to their winning ways and take down one of the hottest teams in the South Division in the Shreveport Mudbugs. Now, it's one thing to beat a good team. It's another thing to beat a good team on the road. Now, this is the third straight game for the Wranglers on the longest road trip of the season. Started in Oklahoma on the 25th of February, and last night, here tonight, 2-game set in Shreveport, and then next weekend we'll finish off the road trip with 3 games in 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, over in Greeley, Colorado, when the Wranglers take on the Colorado Grit. A lot of stake here tonight. Playoff picture is starting to take shape. Wranglers under 10 games to go on the season. This is game number 52 for Amarillo. Wranglers looking to get some help from the Colorado Grit before facing off with them next weekend, as the Grit are taking on the Ice Wolves, with the Wranglers are 2 points behind for 4th place in the South Division. We'll take a look at that score on an out-of-town scoreboard when we come back on the second intermission report, presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to George's Pond, where the Wranglers have a 2-1 lead over the Mudbugs after 40 minutes of play. Guy Chiarenza here from this historic venue that saw the likes of Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, some musical legends perform in this building. Really kind of surreal to be in a building like this. You can tell it's old, but it's got that flair to it, you know? You just know when you're in a building like this, just the history in it. You just know it's a great place to play a hockey game, great place to call a hockey game, and just really just fortunate to take it all in here tonight. The job's not done. We still have 20 minutes and maybe a little bit more to go. Wranglers with a 2-1 lead here. As we take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard as the Wranglers look to catch up to the Ice Wolves for 4th place in the South Division. And so we'll start our journey around the league over at American Bank Center, where the Lone Star Brahmas, after 2 periods of play, have a 3-1 lead over the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. Brahmas getting goals from Connor Bergeron and 2 from Ivan Zavernyuk. The lone Ice Rays goal is scored by Stepan Kuznetsov. Lone Stars already punched their ticket to the Robertson Cup playoffs. Corpus Christi will not be making the postseason this season. Over at El Paso County Event Center, 2nd period there, no score between the Rhinos and the Warriors. About halfway through the 2nd period. Let's keep an eye on that one. Wranglers still in play for the 3rd place spot in the South Division. Reminder, we'll see the El Paso Rhinos when the Wranglers return to the Budweiser bullpen on March 22nd and March 23rd. March 22nd is Comic-Con night, and that Saturday will be a jersey auction night. It'll be hockey and hot rods, brought to you by Contagion Athletics and Street Toyota. The big night, a lot of cool cars on the concourse. I'm looking forward to it, and you should be as well. Get your tickets for those matchups at panhandletickets.com. And so finally, the big game, the game we're all looking at right now here tonight, as the Wranglers trying to catch up with the Ice Wolves. We'll work our way over to the desert, Outpost Ice Arenas, where the Colorado Grit still have a 2-0 lead over the New Mexico Ice Wolves. Oh man, the Grit looking to upset New Mexico, do the Wranglers a little bit of a favor here, and keep the Ice Wolves at bay at 62 points here tonight. Wranglers looking to pick up 2 points of their own. If they do, they'll be tied at 62 with New Mexico, although New Mexico has 1 more game remaining on their schedule compared to the Wranglers. 8 games remaining for Amarillo at the end of tonight's contest. And so that's your out-of-town scoreboard. We'll bring you back inside George's Pond, which is at Hirsch Coliseum here in northwestern Louisiana. And it's been a pretty fun game so far, but it's far from over. And so Wranglers looking to seal the deal, pick up the victory, and head over to Greeley, Colorado, with 2 points in their back pocket. So what do the Wranglers need to do to come away with the victory here in the 3rd period? Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, the Mudbugs aren't going to make it easy on the Wranglers. I mean, we know that. The Wranglers know that. It's a very good Mudbug team. You know, they've punched their ticket to the postseason for a reason, and they're not going to shy away here in the 3rd period. And so I'm expecting, and I know the Wranglers should expect as well, a big push from the Mudbugs here to tie this game early up in the 2nd period. And they have a pretty good chance to do so with 1 minute and 9 seconds of power play time to work with. All fresh and rested to start the 3rd period. So for the Wranglers, I think your first priority has to be killing off that penalty to start the 3rd period. And after that, I really like that the Wranglers were able to get some more shots on goal in the 2nd period. We're able to get a goal out of it from Trace Day. In fact, the shot count in the 2nd period was dead even at 10 apiece. Mudbugs lead that total 25-16 at this point. I think for the Wranglers here in the 3rd period, I think you'd like to get another insurance marker to restore your 2-goal lead. But I think in the 3rd, you just have to play smart hockey. I think last night, one of the Wranglers' shortcomings was just the Mudbugs capitalizing on even the smallest of chances that the Wranglers gave them. And so here in the 3rd period, I think the Wranglers have to be smart with the puck, make good decisions, kind of control as much as you can in terms of playing the puck. I know this ice surface has been playing a little bit of tricks on them here this weekend, but just control what you can control, make smart plays, and I really like what the Wranglers have been cooking up on the forecheck here tonight. Keep that coming here in the 3rd period. I see no reason why the Wranglers can't walk out of Hirsch Coliseum with 2 points in their back pocket. We'll step aside one last time here on the 2nd intermission report before we come back for 3rd period action. It's the Wranglers 2 and the Mudbugs 1. This has been the 2nd intermission report presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. When we return to George's Pond, we'll have 3rd period action here in Louisiana. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. They're getting crazy at the Coliseum as fans are roaring as the Mudbugs and the Wranglers have retaken the ice ahead of third period action here at the pond. Wranglers lead by 1. It's 2-1 to start the third period. Mudbugs will have a $1.09 of power play time to work with at the top of the third period. Wranglers looking to get back to their winning ways before they head to Greeley, Colorado next weekend for a 3-game set with the Grits. Season series finale between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. Wranglers looking to even this season series at 2 apiece with the victory here tonight. Connor McDonald has been phenomenal. Wranglers have gotten some scoring from Jack Ivey and Trey Stay here tonight for their 2 goals. Lone Mudbug goal has been scored by Logan Haru. It was a power play tally that cut into what was a 2-0 Amarillo lead. We give the Wrangler lead down to the slimmest of margins, just a single goal to begin the third. It's going to take a lot of guts. It's going to take a lot of muster to win this game. Wranglers looking to do just that here tonight as we're underway for third period action. Mudbugs win the draw. Wranglers making it difficult on them to enter the attacking zone. Deep gets bottled up on the entry. Troutwine stuffs it back into the Shreveport zone. Mudbugs try and charge up ice. Stretch pass offline to Burke. Rolls it around to McDonough. He'll shove it off the near wall up to Jack Ivey. Springs Ben Ivey into motion. 1-on-1 with Murphy to the left side. Shot goes wide of the net and not by much. Ben Ivey dangerous shorthanded. He has 3 shorthanded tallies this season as the Mudbugs go coast to coast. Deeb looks to find a trailer in the corner. Centering feed. McDonough from left to right is able to get a pad on it. Right side, Burke regroups and reloads. Flings it towards the middle. Vassalo is there. Ben Ivey loses his stick, but he blocks the attempt. And on the second try, McDonough makes the save. It's held in. Nickel to the left side for Deeb. Fumbles the puck. Gagnol defending. Mudbugs forced to regroup. Burke on the near side, looking to go across to Deeb. McNaughton gets a stick on it. He tries to pounce on the puck. Mudbugs keep it. Left side, deep to the middle. And a save made by McDonough as Wranglers were able to get a defensive stick on that puck as well. Up at the right point, Burke. Penalty is over. Deeb back to the line and back to even strength. And the Mudbugs are forced back out to center. McNaughton finds Morley Phillips, and he absolutely levels Haru. He steamrolls him at the Mudbug blue line. Massive hit. And now Phillips springs Morris into motion. Backhand shot. Shoulder save by Goich. At center ice, Semenyuk looks to pump it back in, but the Mudbugs say no to that try. Blake moves deep into the Wranglers' end. Sharp angle shot goes off the side of the net and propels back up to the blue line. Austin drifting towards his right. Peels away from the attack. Morris is defending, and a shot there from Austin is fought off by McDonough. Wranglers turn up ice in transition. Phillips to the right corner, and now he takes a hit from Austin. Fans roar in approval as Austin will backhand it out to the neutral zone. DeMarco will field it for the Wranglers. Gathers it in his own end, takes a check, moves it forward. Cook pinching, tries to keep it into the Wranglers' zone. Pukanen hard on the puck, looks to end that. The Mudbugs are able to wind it around to the far side. It bounces to DeMarco. Finds McNaughton moving towards his right. Looks to hit Pukanen moving forward. Pass does not connect. And now Hayden Nickel, Mudbug captain, will gain the red line and chuck it into the Wranglers' zone. Off the end wall, the puck goes to the far corner. Cook will pick it up. A backhand drop to Jasser. He'll reel it around towards the near corner. McNaughton is there for the Wranglers defensively. Spins towards his forehand. Loses his stick. Bouncing puck at the right circle. Abrant fields it. Pops up into the air. Haru tries to take a couple swats at it, but Kruklides comes away with the puck. Pukanen rumbles forward. Glances off the helmet of Haru, who lost his helmet when Phillips hit him. Puck goes corner to corner. Will be picked up by Cook. Finds Nickel between the circles. Now Jasser has it moving into the Wranglers' zone. Semenyuk cuts him off. And the right wing Ben Ivey charges up ice. He's battling with Vassalo. Ben from the line, finds McDonald moving in from the slot, takes a shot, save made by Goich, and on the rebound, Jack Ivey couldn't get there as he got cut off by Marino. Ben Ivey steals it away, right side, Ben to the goal, and he can't rip a shot away as Marino got back into position. From below the goal line, centering feed is picked off by Haldenby, and now he goes the other way. Looks to spring Marino with a pass upwards, but the Wranglers get a body in front of it, and now they'll take a chance in the attacking zone. Wranglers get a partial change as Gerhard rainbows it up into the glove of Goich. He drops it and keeps it moving as the Mudbugs turn it over at the blue line. Day has it, shovels it down below the goal line for Gerhard. Centering feed, Miller is there, and he taps it just wide of the goal. Gets his own rebound at the end wall. And now the Mudbugs, Brent Litchard, will play it back out to center. Deeb on the right wing, twists and turns it deep into Wrangler territory. Up to the point, Fleeta's shot, it's blocked by his own man in Burke. Miller picks up the free puck. Here he comes with speed down the right wing, centering feed across, looking for Gerhard, and he couldn't connect on the pass. Gadowski to the right point, Gagnon fakes the shot, and his pass across the trout line is offline. It goes out to the neutral zone, and Nick Troutwine will just blast it back into the zone, and the Wranglers opt for a partial change. As the Mudbugs turn it over at center, Kruklidis enters on the left side, finds Phillips. Now to Morris in the slot, looks to feed Phillips. Pass is intercepted by Fleet. Mudbugs with speed in transition. Nice play by Morris to cut off McKay. And now the Mudbugs are forced back out to center ice with an errant pass with 14:16 to go in the third period. Wranglers with the lead at 2-1. Semenyuk off his own end boards. Hits Kruklidis with a pass. Feeds Phillips on the right wing. Now Gerhard down the left wing. Make that Gadowski. Magnus Gadowski. In alone, finds a man below the goal line in Phillips. It gets knocked off his stick by Haru. Wranglers get it back at center ice, and we'll just hoist it back in to the Mudbug zone. Murch behind the Mudbug cage. Pass is intercepted by Phillips in the slot. Springs Pukkanen, and on the trailing pass, McNaughton's shot is blocked. Now Cook turns up ice. Stops at the left circle, delays. Cook will feed it down below the goal line. Mudbugs turn it over. Pukkanen has it. Strong on the puck, keeps position for the Wranglers. McNaughton has it at center ice. He'll find Pukkanen on the left wing. Settles the puck down at the end wall, but the Mudbugs cluster up on him and steal the puck away. And now they have numbers in transition. Potential 3-on-2. Left side, Murphy in, shoots, and a big save by McDonough to shut down Will Murphy, defenseman of the Mudbugs. All that coming at 13:01 to go in the third period. Wranglers still have that one-goal lead at 2-1. Draw to the left of McDonough, make that the right of McDonough, far circle. Draws one by the Wranglers. Amarillo will pound it out to the neutral zone. Murch will pick it up. He re-enters the zone. Troutwine jousting with Haldenby on the near side half wall. Haldenby will elect to punch down below the goal line, and now a centering feed is juggled between the circles. Jack Ivey got a defensive stick on the puck. Now here he goes, flying down the left wing, takes a shot, snapper, and a bouncing puck is off the stick of Murch and into the open arms of Goich, who holds the puck with 12:36 to go in the third period. That's a dangerous chance from Jack Ivey. Even more so dangerous because it was deflected off the stick of Murch. And it took a couple of hops in towards Goich. Mudbug netminder was able to see that one through and get the whistle. Draw will be to his left on the far circle of the Mudbug zone. It's going to be Grayson Gerhard in the Wrangler fourth line to take the draw against Ryan Burke. Gerhard had a really nice month of February. Has an assist on the day goal in tonight's game. like the way that he's played over the last couple of weeks. His play in the Wranglers zone now picked up by Day. Skate the stick, finds Semeniuk on the right wing. He enters the zone, drops for Day, and now the pass is picked off by Burke. He moves down the left wing, centering feed. Deeb is in alone, and he scores. Connor McDonough went for it all on the poke check, and Lucas Deeb is able to find his way around the Wrangler netminder for the backhand score. We're tied at 2. So it's a brand new game. Lucas Deeb gets the goal. It's going to be his 18th goal of the season. He extends his point streak to 5 games. Now has 4 goals and 4 assists in that span. So Lucas Deeb makes it 2-2. Bugs have the momentum right now. Wranglers looking to turn the tide. And just one of those quick developing plays that sent Deeb moving the other way. The Mudbugs had numbers on the transition. And Deeb was able to cut in towards the net all alone. And McDonough went for it all, trying to get that poke check to shut down Deeb. Unfortunately, didn't go the Wranglers' way, although I don't mind McDonough taking that gamble. McDonough's been very active with his stick, trying to make poke checks like that all night, and to that point, he's been successful on all of them. And just so happens on that last play, Lucas Deeb is able to evade the poke check and put the puck in the back of the net for the score. And 2-2's your score. Ryan Burke, gets the goal for, the assist for the Mudbugs on the Deeb goal. And so for Burke, he now has points in 16 of his last 17 games, 1 goal and 9 assists in his last 5 games. And so 2-2, Wranglers look to get the next one. It's 2 unanswered by the Mudbugs. Wranglers looking for a response. DeMarco has it at the red line. He'll blast it into the attacking zone. 11:54 to go in the third period. Burke gets his pocket picked by McDonald from the line. Shot towards the goal, was looking to find Ben Ivy's stick out in front. Mudbugs are able to peel it away from the Wranglers captain's grasp. Ben gets it back at center ice. He'll gain the red line. Bounce it off the wall and into the deep end of the Mudbug territory. Shreveport quick to wind it back out to the neutral zone. Troutwine will pick it up as the Mudbugs get a line change. Troutwine out there with Godowski, Gagnon, Jack Ivey, and Luke Morris. Morris on the forecheck gets the puck below the left circle. Moves it up to the point for Troutwine. Across for Gagnon. He'll shoot it towards the goal, and a glove save is made by Goich. Morris was there, but looks like Goich saw that one all the way through as he makes the glove save on Nolan Gagnon. 2-2 game, 11:04 to go in the third period. Wranglers have had their way in tight games like this. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Just about a minute ago, Lucas Deeb scored to make it a 2-2 hockey game. And so now it's a brand new game, even score. And though the Wranglers have had their way in games of this nature, they found a way to squeak out wins in tight situations, 19-6-5-2 in games decided by 1 or 2 goals. So we'll see if the Wranglers continue that string of good luck. As on the left wing, Bugs shoot, McDonald waits the save, and right in front of the net, Jasser is denied again by a sprawling McDonough. Wranglers pump it into the Mudbugs zone. Godowski pinching on the left wing, gets the puck up to Troutwine. Shot goes off a stick and wide of the goal. On the far side, the Mudbugs will clear it all the way down. That should be an icing, and it will be on the Mudbugs with 10:29 to go in the third period. Draw to the right of Goich. Near circle of the Mudbugs zone. McNaughton to take it, and he wins it cleanly. Up to the left point. Kruklidis whips it towards the goal. Off a leg to McNaughton. His shot is shut down by Goich. Dangerous chance there for McNaughton. And somehow finds a way to stay out of the back of the net. Now players converge in the near corner. Wranglers trying to pick it free. Pukanen in the middle of it. Gets it to the left point. Kruklidis a shot. Pad save by Goich. And the Mudbugs will escape any more danger as they knock it into the Wranglers zone with exactly 10 minutes to go in the third period. Kruklidis, stretch pass. Goes astray from Abrant. It'll end up being an icing on the Wranglers with 9:50 to go in the third period. We're getting close to the time where as a broadcaster, you stop saying third period and you start saying regulation, as the game is now tied. And who knows, this game could be destined to overtime, and the Wranglers have had their fair share of those games. But if you're the Wranglers, you'd like to win this one in regulation. Draw to the left of McDonough. Near circle of the Wranglers zone. McNaughton against McKay. McNaughton wins another one. Semeniuk plugs it forward, but not out. Left point shot. Wide of the glove of McDonough and wide of the goal. To the near corner it goes. Semeniuk picks up the loose puck off the scramble. And he will push it out to the neutral zone. Pukanen rumbles into the attacking end. He'll pop it towards the far corner. Mudbugs will slide it around towards the near side. Boucher hits a man in the middle in McKay. On the left side, he shoots, and a save made by McDonough on the latest Mudbug try. 9:18 remaining in the third period. Now you thought I was going to say in regulation. Not yet. Not yet. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. It's a nail-biter here at the pond in Louisiana. Wranglers' first and only trip to Louisiana this season. Draw on the far circle, won by the Mudbugs. Marino turns, centers it for Haldenby, goes off a skate into the Wranglers' possession. McDonald spurts up ice. Dump and chase action, he'll do it all by himself. Checks Merchant deep, gets the puck back to his stick. McDonald behind the goal for Ben Ivy. He'll look, wait, move it up to DeMarco, fires, and a glove save by Goich. He snares that one out of the air with 8:57 to go in the third period, stopping time once again. TJ Ritchie and Max Sushinsky been sitting in the penalty box for a while. TJ Ritchie egging on the crowd. He's a funny guy, that TJ Ritchie. And he got the boys all fired up with his fight late in the second period. Got to think that at some point he'll return in the late stages of the third after serving his 10-minute misconduct and his 5 for fighting. Not sure if those stack or not. Either way, Wranglers with possession in the Mudbug zone. It'll roll around towards the far side. Litchard will pick it up. He'll feed Fleet on the right side, and he'll jar it forward. Troutwine is there for the Wranglers to level it back out to the neutral zone. Now the Mudbugs will possess. Play slowing down a bit. Very methodical approach from Shreveport as Fleet gains the red line and knocks it into the Wranglers zone. It'll be picked up by Troutwine, He'll roll it around to the left side for Gagnon. He'll streak down the wing. Gagnon with speed, darts towards the middle. He'll shoot, and it goes off his stick and wide of Goich. Behind the net, Jack Ivey tries to peel the puck away. But strong and steady is Austin, and now he charges to the neutral zone. Austin through the left wing, behind the cage. Drops it at the half wall for Marino. Tries to swing it back around for Austin, but he had vacated his spot in the near corner. Semeniuk is there now battling with Hollenby. Two Wranglers, two Bugs alike, and now Shreveport comes away with it. It's Holdenby turning and shooting. McDonough eats that one up with 7:38 to go in the third period. He chews it and he swallows it and he spits it out after getting the whistle. This next draw should be to his right, unless they move it, which they've been known to do from time to time. Just when I think they're going to do it on one side, they say, you know what? No, and they just move it sides. But no, we'll see where this draw ends up being. Mudbugs getting a line change. And, well, guess what? It's to his left. Every time I try and anticipate where they're going to have that draw, they move it into the opposite circle. Maybe I should stop doing that. Draw in the near circle. Won by the Mudbugs. Cook in the corner, shooting off the side of the net. Pinged off the end glass, and the Wranglers are able to hack it all the way back down into the Mudbug zone. Slow-moving puck, no icing, as Austin will gather it in the deep end of his own zone. Pass across is picked off by Morris. He gets a stick on it, looks to go to work on the forecheck. Wranglers' third line out there, Phillips, Gadowski, and Morris, as Phillips crunches Austin on the far wall. It's a big, heavy-hitting line for the Wranglers, and I've loved what they've been able to do since the Wranglers have put them together on that line. As the Mudbugs from center will blast it in. Funny bounce off the wall, and it goes in. You've got to be kidding me. That's an Amarillo bounce if I've ever seen one. And it happens at the pond. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a tough one. We've seen it so many times with the Budweiser bullpen where somebody dumps the puck in, it goes off the corner wall and just darts back out on a ricochet into the blue paint. And McDonough was coming out to play the puck, and he had no chance. He had no chance as Hayden Nickel was there to stash it in the back of the net. And the Shreveport Mudbugs, on one of the flukiest goals you'll ever see, have taken the lead. It's 3-2. It's a game of luck sometimes. It's a game of luck. And that's just a terrible stroke of bad luck for the Wranglers here. The good news is there's still a good chunk of time remaining here in the third period with 6:48 to go. If there's a team that can come back against a Mudbug team that's playing as good as any in the South Division, I'll put my money on the Amarillo Wranglers. I will. Shreveport Mudbugs take the 3-2 lead. Hayden Nickel gets the goal as he was in the right place at the right time. It's his 20th goal of the season, unassisted. He can thank the Shreveport Glass here for an Amarillo bounce that we usually see in our own building. A taste of home on the road on the goal that has given the Mudbugs 3-2 lead. So here we go. There's no quit in Amarillo, and that'll be put to the test here. McNaughton will take the draw against Litchard, and the Mudbugs will win it. They'll bank it off the wall in front of the Wranglers bench. Moving upwards, McNaughton, shovels it into the attacking zone. Bouncing puck is corralled by the Mudbugs at center ice. Burke will enter, left side, toe drag shot, McDonough the save, ping pongs around at the top of the blue paint, but number one, with keen eyes, is able to gather up that puck with his glove and get the whistle with 6:22 to go in the third period. This is a game for the Wranglers where I thought they played really well. I think that this is probably the Wranglers' best effort that they put together over the last month or so, ever since they played the Rhinos at the Budweiser bullpen. So we'll see what's in store for the rest of this game. Wranglers look to tie it up here late in the third. Draw to the right of McDonough. It'll be Litchard. Make that Haldenby against McNaughton, and the draw is won by the Wranglers. On the near side, Pukkanen will sky it to the neutral zone. Takes a bounce and ends up on the stick of Austin. They'll move it to Fleets. He pumps it forward to Vassalo. And now Haldenby on the right wing from the circle. Fires it towards the goal. Soft shot. Easy save for Connor McDonough. Another whistle with 6:05 to go in the third period. Draw on the near circle of the Wranglers zone. Nickel against McNaughton. Mudbugs win it. Right point, it's Austin. Settles down, shoots. It's blocked by Pukkanen. He doesn't know where the puck is, but good news, his teammates do. As McNaughton has it on the far side. Moves it up along the wall. Fleet pinching down. Moves it back in deeper. Cook chops it along back to the far side wall. Abramp meets it for the Wranglers. He gets tied up with Fleet, the other number 7. Mudbugs keep possession. Right wing toss to Austin. He'll shoot. Pad saved by McDonough. And now Pukkanen will send it down the length of the ice. That'll be an icing on the Wranglers with 5:28 to go in the third period. Draw on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. To the right of McDonough. McNaughton wins the draw. Mudbugs scamper in and get the puck. Haru, bouncing puck is fluttered out of play from the Wrangler blue line with 5:22 remaining in the third. This is one of those games where you'd like to have the services of Roman Zapp, one of the Wranglers' leading point scorers, at your service. Unfortunately, he did not make the trip to Shreveport this weekend, dealing with a lower body injury. We'll hope to see him join the road trip in Greeley next weekend, as Zapp has been known for some of those late goals to tie games up. Wranglers will have to find a way to do it without him, as the Mudbugs send the puck down to McDonough from their own zone. No icing as the Wranglers netminder plays it. Stretch passes offline to McDonald. Now the Mudbugs enter on the left side. Nickel driving towards the net, and he scores. He goes bar down, and Hayden Nickel gets his second goal of the game, and it's now a 2-goal Mudbug lead. And that's a really pretty shot there from Hayden Nickel. Gotta tip my cap to him. Well placed. Bar down and in, and the Mudbugs have scored 4 unanswered. Nickel now has goal number 21 on the season after goal number 20 was assisted by the corner glass here in Shreveport. We'll wait to see what the official assist is on this goal. The latest from Hayden Nickel, but now the mountain gets a little bit tougher for the Wranglers to climb here. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, if there's any team that can come back in a game like this, it's the Amarillo Wranglers. We've seen it time and time again this season. Can't wait to see what these boys have in store for us here in the waning moments of the third. And so it's Hayden Nickel from Logan Haru on the goal that has made it 4-2 Shreveport. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. It's crunch time. And Grayson Gerhard will take the next draw as the Wranglers in desperate need of a goal. They need one, and they need it quickly. They'll need two to tie it. Gerhard wins the draw. Euclides back to Gerhard at center ice. From the red line, McKay will sky it into the Wranglers zone. They will pick it up behind McDonough. McRoberts is there as well. Puck is pinned up against the end wall. Two Mudbugs, two Wranglers digging for it. Shreveport wins that battle. Centering passes off a stick and trickles back into the Mudbug zone. Scampering after it is Murphy. McRoberts tries to drive it back into the Mudbug zone, but it boomerangs back to the Wrangler defense. Gerhard from the red line. Looks to move forward. Mudbugs bottle him up. And twist it back into the Wranglers' end. There's a steal here from Vassalo. Hard on the puck. Moves it up to the left point. Shot there. Lances wide of the goal. Haldenby on his forehand. Turns off the skate of Truklides. Gerhard has it on the near half wall. He'll hack it off the wall and out to the Mudbug zone. Fleet will pick it up. 3:45 to go in the third period. We'll keep a keen eye on Connor McDonough and see if he leaves for an extra attacker here with the Wranglers down by 2. Haldenby and the Mudbugs, with all the time in the world in their eyes, taking their time in their own zone as Austin slowly moves through the neutral zone. He gains the center ice logo and dumps it into the Wrangler end. Wranglers quickly to the near side. Godowski exchanges with Morris. Moving to the red line, gets shut down by the Mudbugs. And now Deeb will enter on the left side. A backhand roller goes behind McDonough. Gagnon will pick it up, trying to evade the forecheck of Burke. Burke gets a steal for a moment, then turns it over to Godowski. The Amherst College commit will get possession for the Wranglers and head towards the bench with 2:44 to go. Now we get a whistle with 2:42 to go in the third period. And I believe we have a timeout called here. And looks like Austin Sutter has taken the Wranglers timeout at this point. 2:42 to go in the third period. We're going to keep it here at the pond in Shreveport. As Austin Sutter and the Wranglers scored the first 2 goals of the game, but the Mudbugs have responded by scoring 4 unanswered. And so now Amarillo facing their toughest challenge of the season yet. Here in enemy territory, hostile environment, down by 2 to the hottest team in the North American Hockey League. Look to try and find a way to mount the comeback and send this game to overtime and hopefully win it. Austin Sutter and Soupy Campbell, the 2 coaches here tonight for the respective clubs, actually once played together when Sutter was in a Mudbug uniform way back in the day. Campbell having such a historic career here that he has his own banner, number 11, up in the rafters here at Hirsch Coliseum. Both Sutter and Campbell, both legends in the Central Hockey League. Both have a banner in their respective buildings. As Sutter did play a short time here in Shreveport before spending the majority of his CHL career with the Amarillo Gorillas. So here we go. 2:42 to go in the third period. High drama at the ponds. Wranglers look to tie it up, draw on the near circle. It's won by the Mudbugs. They'll paddle it towards the net. McDonough sweeps it aside. On the far wall, Morris meanders to the neutral zone. Collects some steam and charges down the right wing. Morris cutting towards the net. Gets shouldered away from the puck by Shushinsky. Now the Mudbugs send it down. No icing as Nickel gets there first. They'll bat it over to Cook. They'll twist it down deeper to McKay. Off the corner wall and up to the right point. Shushinsky returns it back to the corner. Gagnon there defensively. Gets the puck for the Wranglers. Stretch pass off a stick. Collected by the Mudbugs at center ice. Under 2 minutes to go. Wranglers needing to get possession here so McDonough can go off the extra attacker, but the Mudbugs making it very difficult. Is on the near side, Haldenby will drive it deeper into the Wranglers zone. Puukkonen will glance it off the wall and out to the Mudbug ends. Shreveport still with possession with 1:35 to go in the third. Haldenby on the right wing, gains center red. Lifts it over Wrangler blue and heads towards the bench. Back behind McDonough it goes. Centering feed by Marino. Wranglers can't hold possession here. As from the left point, Murray will swing it around towards the near corner. Now Gagnon will get possession. 1:10 remaining in the third. And Gagnon not in a hurry to move things here. And now stretch pass flubbed off his stick. It'll be picked up by the Mudbugs at center ice. 1 minute to go in the third. Gagnon chops it ahead off the stick of Godowski and in deep. McDonough stays between the pipes. Mudbugs roll around on the near side. Litchard exits his own zone. Finds Burke moving forward. Burke across to the middle. Deeb. Big save by McDonough to shut down Lucas Deeb. 35 seconds to go. Burke on the far wall. DeMarco pins him up against the boards. And that's fine by Burke. He's got all the time in the world. 25 seconds to go in the third. Still a puck battle along the boards. DeMarco finally picks it free. Wranglers get it to Jack Ivey. 14 seconds to go. DeMarco to the left wing. Godowski enters. He'll shoot. It's blocked by Murphy. Behind the cage it goes. 5 seconds to go. Bouncing puck. It was off the stick of Trey Stay. And that's all. Final from Georgia's Ponds. The Mudbugs 4 and the Wranglers 2. Shreveport picks up the win. They now have won 14 of their last 16. And they now have 76 points on the season for the Wranglers. They fall to 26, 18, 6, and 2. Stay at 60 points on the season. In what is a crushing loss here in enemy territory at the hands of the Shreveport Mudbugs. Wranglers postgame show starts now. It's crushing because the Wranglers played really, really well here tonight. I think this is one of the best performances from the Wranglers I've seen in the last month or so. Ever since they played the Rhinos, got that sweep with the Budweiser bullpen. You could see the heart, you could see the passion from this team here tonight. Let's recap all the scoring before we get into the thick of it. Jack Ivey got the opening goal, 2 minutes and 30 seconds on a 4-on-3 man advantage in the first period. That was the only goal scored in the first period. Wranglers would tack on another one. 9:27 to go in the second period. Trace Day pots his third goal of the season from Gerhard and Semeniuk to make it 2-0. But afterwards, about 2 minutes later, the Mudbugs would start a run of 4 unanswered goals to win the game. 4-on-3 power play for Shreveport. They score. Logan Haru, assisted by Colin Vassalo, makes it a 2-1 game. That's where we stood after 2 periods of play. In the third period, 3 more unanswered by Shreveport seals the deal, as it was Lucas Deeb from Burke beating the pocheck of McDonough. 12-12 to go in the third to make it 2-2. And then on one of the flukiest goals I've ever seen, which ends up being the game winner. The Mudbugs dump it in, and we've seen it so many times at the Budweiser bullpen that it's been coined the Amarillo bounce. Tish takes a funny hop off of a stanchion, ricochets into the blue paint. McDonough was already well out of his crease to play the puck. He never saw it. Unfortunately, Hayden Nickel did. He was in the right place at the right time in the blue paint, and he puts the puck in the back of the net for, like I said, what is the game-winning goal. Flukiest goal of the year, and the Mudbugs make it a 3-2 hockey game on that goal, and then the insurance marker from Hayden Nichols, second of the game from Logan Haru. with 4:56 to go in the game, settled the score at 4-2. And again, it's very tough because I feel like, again, this has been one of the Wranglers' best performances since they took down the Rhinos in that sweep at the Budweiser bullpen. Wranglers have now lost 5 in a row, but it feels like these last 2 games have been different. When the Wranglers played Odessa, they were flat. And Odessa was the better team in those games. But the difficult thing about these last 3 losses for the Wranglers is I thought the Wranglers played well in Oklahoma. I thought that the Wranglers played well last night here against the Mudbugs. But here tonight, it was a whole different animal. Tonight's game was the best game that I've seen the Wranglers play in about a month. And it's tough to see the Wranglers lose this way on a goal of that nature because they really didn't deserve it. They really didn't deserve it. They were good on special teams, and, you know, they scored goals. McDonald made timely saves, and sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes it's just a game of luck. And the Mudbugs got lucky here tonight. Not to say that they didn't play a good game. The Mudbugs were a worthy opponent of the Wranglers here tonight. They certainly fought tooth and nail to try and grind and get the 2 points here tonight, just as much as the Wranglers did. But, you know, it's tough when the game-winning goal comes of that nature. And so for the Wranglers, they look to continue moving forward and get some wins up in Greeley, Colorado next weekend, which is where we will be. 3 games set Friday, Saturday, Sunday over at Greeley Ice House to take on the Colorado Grit. So before we head out of here, let's take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard and check in on the Colorado Grit and see what they're up to, as they are the Wranglers' next opponent. We'll start our journey over at American Bank Center. Late stages of the game there. Looks like the Brahmas had that one locked up at the score of 5-2, 5:30 to go in the third. At El Paso County Event Center, the Rhinos with a 2-0 lead, 5 minutes into the third over the Oklahoma Warriors. Tim Mathis and Cam Bazier getting the goals for the Rhinos. We'll see them on the Wranglers' next homestands 2 weeks from now at the Budweiser bullpen. 22nd is Comic-Con night, brought to you by YC3 Comic-Con. Going to be a fun night. And then that Saturday, jersey auction that night. Stay tuned for the jersey reveal coming up soon. The Wranglers will take on the Rhinos in the final meeting of the regular season between those 2 clubs on what is Hockey and Hot Rods night, presented by Contagion Athletics and our friends over at Street Toyota. And so we'll check in over on the Colorado Grit, who do the Wranglers a favor here tonight and pull off the upset and defeat the New Mexico Ice Wolves 3-1. It's your score over in the desert, so that holds the Ice Wolves at bay at 62 points on the season. So the Wranglers are still just 2 points back of New Mexico in the standings for 4th place in the South Division. Home ice going to be critical in the play-in rounds. I thought tonight was a step in the right direction for the Wranglers. Unfortunately, just didn't come away with the win. Unlucky bounce goes the Mudbugs' way. Ends up being the game winner. Wranglers still in search of a win here on the road. They fall to 0-3 on the road trip. They'll look to bounce back in Greeley, Colorado next weekend. We'll have all that action for you on NATV and YouTube. It's been a lot of fun here this weekend at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum. I'd like to thank everybody here that's helped put this show together, the crew here in Shreveport. Chet Yoder, voice of the Mudbugs. Thank them for their hospitality. They've been awesome here this weekend. My first time here in the great state of Louisiana. First time here at Hirsch Coliseum, historic venue, and I had a lot of fun. Certainly not the outcome that I would have liked, but you know, it's always a great day for hockey, and it's always fun to watch the Wranglers in action. As for you, next time you want to see the Wranglers in action, you tune into my broadcast, NATV, YouTube. We'll have it for you next Friday from Greeley. And then the next time the Wranglers will be at the Budweiser bullpen, you can get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. As much as I like having you on my broadcast, I'd like to see you in person, so get your tickets right here, right now. Tell them guys sent you. that'll do it for us here from Shreveport. Mudbugs sweep the weekend as they take tonight's game by the final score of 4-2. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good evening and so long from George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum. We'll see you next weekend